And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Fashionably late tonight. What is it? A little after 7. Oh, yeah, I'm late. So, what's going on? How is everybody? We got here Bodgemeister, Doug Nardin, Don Winning English, Danny Boyd. What's happening? Kyle Teal, Chris Farley, R.I.P. Chris Farley. Didn't he die like 20 years ago? Joe Kay. Oh man, what's going on? Mexican Spec. What's happening? All right. How's everybody doing tonight? What a gorgeous weekend. Got a lot of stuff done. Fubar the Axe. Paul Cavazola. Let's see. Until you threaten their nuts, they will protect their nuts. I'm the same way. Rude Mopar dude, how are you? Brian, Mitten Made Muscle, Vargan Good. Tony, what's news? Not a whole bunch. Somebody's having their nuts threatened. Buffed Up Campo, the legend, Buff. Let's see. R Stage 3, coolant in oil TA Challenger, Sigh. Any knowledgeable Mopar engine builders in the Houston, Texas area? I don't know. Bro, pop the heads off. It might just be as simple as a bad head gasket. You could do that. Chris Roberts, Tony, steel on steel rod pins, full floating pistons. Is this okay? I've done it. My 340 actually, my 73 340. When I put that thing together, I had a set of floating pins. I didn't have a set of bush rods, so I just had a machine shop open up the rods to let them float, and I drilled a hole. I drilled an oiling hole in the top of the pin, and I probably put maybe 8 to 10,000 miles on the motor, no problems. So, I don't know if that's the textbook way to do it. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you that I did it myself. I took a gamble, and it worked fine. So, Doug Filer, hello from Regina, Canada. How are you? Love the builds you have on the go. Thank you. Smoky Ram, what's happening? Harley Hawk, what's happening? Tony, I got the complete front end for my 79 Bonneville to hit the bear. Excellent. He came to our open house a couple of weeks ago, and he hit a freaking bear, right? 200 miles from home. 1,000-mile trip. 200 miles from home. He hits a bear, tears up the front of his car. Does he turn around and go home? No. He drives straight through to Tennessee, becoming my own personal hero. Thank you again, brother, man. Ajax, 750, what's happening? Bud Sadowski. Hi, great Chattanooga. What's happening? Brother to the south. Steve Byko, what's happening? Mr. One Assassinator. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just don't assassinate me. Boss Racing. The Miata made Shipbox. Really? We made Shipbox Nation? Excellent. What did they have to say? Did they like it, or did they just trash it? Zach Witter, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Sorry for bother. It's not a bother. I was wondering how I can adjust the throttle cable on my 83. Hang on. 83 Slant 6 D150. I noticed that my idle is a little high, and it doesn't lower unless I push down manually on the linkage. Unless it's something unusual, if you look where the cable attaches, there's driver's side of the intake manifold behind the carburetor. You look where the throttle cable attaches, and you'll see a 7/16 nut. Okay, just loosen that nut, and you'll be able to slide the body of the cable back and forth to get the adjustment that you're looking for on that. Unless you've got something that I'm not familiar with, but that should be the factory setup. Ari, what's happening? Hoosier's Garage. Dakota. Let's see. Oh, Dakota's Timeout has a new video on his channel, so absolutely go check that out. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Chris Gadudo. Tony, what are your thoughts on muscle trucks? I want to build a V8 Explorer. That would be cool. I like them when other people build them. I'm not really, I was going to do a Ram Charger, and I just could not get into the Ram Charger. And it's oddly enough because I'm building a gambler car, which is like kind of the same, but and I'm into it like crazy. So I don't know. I'm just not a truck guy. So, but I think they're cool. I mean, absolutely build it. Let's see. Hey, Wendy. Big Bear. I didn't see Big Bear was here. What's happening, brother? Joseph Giannini could be a weak return spring. Yes. I mean, I'm assuming that he already kind of went through that. Vince Rencher from the People's Republic of New Jersey. Yes. Hi, Tony. Do you think you would consider guiding Simba CXYZ on his 440 build? Would make for great contact. Have him contact me. Of course I would. Zach's Mopar and mashed potatoes has an update on his muscle truck coming soon. I didn't realize he had a muscle truck, so absolutely, if you're into that kind of thing, go check out his channel. Biker Bob, what's happening? 426 Rich. Joe K, love the Slant 6 shoved under the dashboard of the Miata, basically a 4th gen Camaro. No, it's a Corvette. It's a Corvette. The whole of the engine is behind the front end, between the axle center line. So, and it's lower than the stock engine, And now, so I've got 100% of the driveline weight behind the center line of the front axle, right? The motor is heavier than the Miata engine, but the transmission is lighter than the Miata transmission, so it almost balances itself out. I'm going to get that car on the scales. So I got the motor out. As soon as I'm finished doing what I'm doing, I can drop the motor back in for more test fitting. I'm going to put it on scales and see exactly what we got there. I got a feeling that car is going to be under 2,000 pounds, and then I got to find somebody who knows autocross. So I need somebody local. If you're local, meaning that like you're within the Nashville area and you know autocross, that type of thing, right? I need you to come and just look over what I'm doing and make any suggestions that you have as far as suspension and shit goes. And like, I mean, and you can drive the damn car. I want to watch it go around that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, if you're in the Nashville area and you know autocross, get a hold of me and come by the shop. I need an educated set of eyes to look over what's going on there. You think about my Miata all day. I hope you're referring to the car, right, Curtis? Yes. Chris Greenaway, is there anything a Mercury Cougar project interests you? I don't know. Is it an interesting project? I don't know. Ron Clem, hey, Tony, what would you do about piston slap? Run it or tear it down? Is it one piston going daka, tear it down? Is it all of the pistons? Just leave it and run it, and just that's the engine's personality. K Week, you need an 87 Dakota in your fleet. They have a 300 tree linkage because there isn't one on YouTube. Wait. Oh, geez. Okay. K Rick, you need an 87 Dakota in your fleet. They have a carbureted V6. Yeah, you know something. I didn't think of that, but they do. It's possible. Phone pops up. Mexican Spec, Tony, I still think you should do a video on the 300 tree linkage because there isn't one on YouTube. I don't know. Is there any interest in it? And like if I see, that's why I try to get away from like Mopar history stuff and things on the higher profile Mopar stuff like Roadrunners or Hemis or Six Packs, whatever it is, have mass general interest. But and so I could do videos like that and they'll get views. And remember, this is a business. I have to do videos that get views. So when you focus it down onto a very specific Mopar part, okay, then that's where I would shoot myself in the foot doing a video like that because it's only going to get like 5,000 views. I need to get between 15 and 20,000 views on the first day a video is, first 24 hours that a video is out, in order for it to be profitable, in order for it to be worthwhile doing. And that's why I shy away from doing things like a very specific 3 on the tree video. But my friend Ron Ward has a channel that's strictly Mopar stuff. It's called Mostly Old Parts. And he's going to be doing those very specific Mopar things. So, oh my God, it's Ultra Kathy. How are you?
Hi, guys.
I'm so glad to see you.
Do you need help?
Oh, no. Why do I need help?
Did you open your envelope?
Oh, Jesus. I didn't know about it. Oh, no. This came.
Yes.
Here, Uncle Kathy, here. Show the people what we got here.
It's in the mail for us?
Yes.
Everything's backwards, so I'm moving the wrong way.
Whatever, don't go to 2020.
Pumpkin chunkin. Okay, so this is from, it just says Weaver.
Just says Weaver. Yeah.
I don't know if Weaver is on. There's a nice note here.
Yeah.
Hello, Uncle Tony and Uncle Kathy. Wish I could have made it to the open house. Thought you might like this book if you don't already have a copy. Roll up your windows. You roll up your windows.
Roll up your windows, Weaver.
Kent. Thank you, Kent. So this is what Kent sent us.
Yes.
Race Madness.
Nice.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
And it's
That'll
got
go.
sticker. Whoa, backwards.
That's going right in the Miata, of course.
Very cool. Oh wow, this is signed.
Oh wow.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Very nice. And she was Superstar.
Yeah, an Old Shoe Superstock magazine.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you very much. We
So much
appreciate
fun.
that.
That's awesome. Very nice. So this sticker's going to go in the Miata?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. Let's see. Where are we? Tony, roll up your windows.
Roll up your windows. We did that already, though, didn't we?
Oh.
How did you come up with roll up your windows? Uncle Kathy, you want to tell them a story about that?
I don't remember. We were joking around, being jerks.
It was a goof. It was a goof, okay? What happened was...
It was a goof, Tony.
We did it. This is like a couple of years ago, okay? And I did this video. I think it was like the world's fastest U-joint change. So I swapped out the U-joint in one of my vehicles. I forgot what it was, in like 35 seconds, okay? But anyway, at the beginning of the video, I was like, we were talking about Scotty Kilmer and how we need to get more views and we need to be like a bigger channel, like Scotty Kilmer's channel. And he uses the phrase, when he starts his videos, he uses the phrase, rev up your engines, right? He goes, rev up your engines. So I says, well, we need something like that, right? Something we could yell at the beginning of the, and so I says, roll up your windows. And that was it. And it stuck ever since.
Okay, thank you, Dallas. I sent Dallas a message.
Dallas, are you ready for next? Are you ready for next Saturday? You're supposed to be towing Bottle Rocket because I'm taking the carry van with the dogs and all of that.
The dogs are coming.
Yes, my dogs will be at 318 Fest. So if anybody wants to pet my dogs, please come by and pet my dogs.
BS Customs, thank you.
Thank you for the Argonne Fund. Oh no, man, it's not suffering. It's not suffering. I like.
Suffering. You enjoy suffering. Like I think you like to make things as hard as possible.
It's a Zen thing.
It's fun for you.
No, listen. Here's
I'm the same way.
Listen to me, right? Listen to me. And BS Customs, I so appreciate that. I really do. But here's the thing, brother man. Here's the thing. To me, the freedom of the 110-volt wire feed, okay, meaning that I can take that little welder, okay, and I can bring it anywhere, anytime, right, and just zip away with it, okay. To me, that's worth any amount of hassle, any amount of, right? You see what I'm saying? I could have any welder I want. I mean, literally, listen. We did that video.
Any welder you want?
Well, we had the guy from Lincoln. I had the guy from, I didn't even tell you about this. Yeah, we did that video, and I had a representative from Lincoln offering to set me up with whatever I needed, for the shop.
Very nice of
It was extremely nice, and I thanked him, and I said I appreciate it, but that's not what we do on this channel. I work with the same tools that the average guy is going to go to Harbor Freight or whatever it is, and this is what he's going to use, so this is what I'm going to use. And so, I mean, I kind of. Was that?
When did that happen?
2 weeks ago?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice enough.
Right after I did that Death by a Zillion BBs.
Okay.
Yeah.
They feel bad for you. They're like, oh my gosh, somebody help him.
Somebody had given him my number.
Okay.
So at any rate, yeah, I can. I mean, I suppose I don't have to have it given to me. I could go buy any welder I want. I use that one because it represents freedom and it represents what my viewers can all get their hands on and all use. By the way, that thing, God, 20 pounds.
Ready.
20 pounds of wire in the Gambler car, and that welder is still going strong. I've been using it like a madman for like, you know, and it's just it doesn't want to give up.
Jealous says, heck yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready to spring for another $109 and just go get a fresh one just because, but it won't give up. It's just like it just keeps going and going and going.
I said Dallas says he's ready.
Dallas is ready.
He's ready.
Well, if Dallas is ready,
I can't wait to go.
we're all ready. Really?
Yeah, I
You
got the
looking forward to it?
caravan cleaned up.
Yeah, that's right. You did. You put seat covers on the caravan.
Yeah, caravan's got nice seat covers
Yep.
on it now.
Yep. You know, they're looking at me talking
I'm
to
here.
the side of the wall here. There you go.
I'm here.
Look, it's
But,
Ultra Kathy.
I'm doing the comments.
But
So
you
I'll come in and out.
all right, you come in and out.
I'll come in and out. Let's see. Doug Norton has a question.
Hey, Doug. It's 350 fair for an 833 4-speed. It's high. It's high. I mean, you could generally buy them for 150, 200 bucks. Geez, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you could spin it right and put it through all of the gears and it goes in and out of all of the gears and it doesn't sound like it's got a bunch of slop or clunkiness in there, then yeah, I mean, why not, right? What do you get for $350? So, you know. Don't know. You're making me hungry, Danny.
Congratulations. What did you eat today? You just had hamburgers. We've been eating a lot of junk food because.
Well, we don't have to. Yeah, because it's always to the shop, and
I've been
we haven't been. She hasn't been cooking, and I'm, you know.
Yeah. We eat
So
junk now.
yeah, so I went to Sonic. So I got this channel that I watch. It's this girl Kathy, you know, another blonde like Kathy, but not my Kathy, and she's over in Mount Juliet, and she does a channel called 2 Cent Chicks, right? And this girl just, it's like, this is like my guilty pleasure, right?
People eat food.
I just watch her eat.
Test food.
Yeah, she tests food. She goes to all these fast food places, right? And she just eats,
She's
right?
a food critic.
And me, I'm a disgusting, degenerate foodie. I mean, I'm disgusting.
Really gross.
There's something wrong with me. I mean, and I mean that sincerely. I have a problem. So I'm just, you know, so she anything she approves of, I run and I go get.
Yeah.
So what it was, Sonic has this Texas twist burger, twisted
Gross.
Texan burger. No, it's not gross. No, it's delicious. It's a cheeseburger with chili and these fried onion things on it.
Gross.
So yeah, so I had a couple of them yesterday, and then today I was like, I need more of that. So I went and I had 3 of
Yeah,
them.
that's another diet
Yeah.
again.
So
Here.
it's 2 Cent Chicks. Go 2 Cent Chick, whatever it is, 2 Cent CENT Chick. Go there and just subscribe and tell her UT sent you.
She has no idea who we are.
Yes, she
Just
does.
She watched the channel.
Yes, no, she does because I
Comment?
months ago.
Oh, okay.
Months ago, yeah, she knows who we are.
Dirt motors. Having lifter problems. Pull them out and there is like a
Snowflake pattern on the bottom. Ooh, I don't know.
Ooh. Whatever it is, it's not good.
I don't know.
Right?
Anything snowflake is a little touchy, so I would watch out. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Ben Treese. So I really want to get so bad a 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner with a 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 4-speed manual transmission. What are the things do I need to look out for?
Your bank account.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. What do you have to look out for? Birds shitting, hailstorms. I mean, just what to look out for.
Numbers wise, like matching stuff.
He didn't answer. It's just a general question. He wants a Hemi 4-speed 70 Roadrunner.
Yeah.
I can't really. I mean, I don't know. There's so many different things that you could look at. You got to find a local expert, somebody who's proficient in those cars, and have them look it over.
Yeah, in person. Let's see. Captain Smith. He's this may have been brought up and I missed it. Is there a UTG meet and cruise plan for 318 Fest on Saturday? Well, we're gonna be in Alabama. right?
Yeah, we're gonna be in Alabama at the 318 Festival. Well, generally speaking, I'll probably be hiding someplace.
No, you won't. You'll
Well-
be there. You're gonna be working on a car.
Well, I don't know if I'm, no, we definitely won't have a meet and greet or cruise planned for that. I just want to go there and mess with my car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Car's a priority.
yeah, that's all I want to do. I don't want to talk about anything. I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to sell.
Well,
I don't.
don't be antisocial.
Well, no, it's not about being antisocial. You guys should know upfront. Anybody who approaches me, I do appreciate it. You have no idea, right? I appreciate it.
You know
but-
when you're at the track, it's working.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, if I go to the track, I just want to go there and be with my car. I don't want, you know what I mean? I'm serious. I don't, you know, I just want to go be with my car.
Okay. But it's okay if people talk to you.
That while I'm working on my car. If you see me by my car, don't talk to me.
Wait until you walk away from your car, then, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's okay. It's so weird, Tony.
the beard is a flavor saver. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Jeez.
See, now here's the gauge, okay? If you guys want to know, okay, how deeply involved is UT on whatever he's working on, look at my fucking beard, okay?
Yeah,
This
keep
tells you the
going.
story, right? Because the first thing to go is shaving.
I have to bug you.
If my head is in a project, I start to take on the Fidel Castro thing. So
Yeah,
that's,
we gotta trim that up.
Yeah.
Tony.
Mike Johnson, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thanks for all your videos.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You know what we need?
What?
We need a GoPro.
Need a GoPro?
Saturday.
We'll put that towards a GoPro.
Yeah, we'll put that towards a GoPro.
Why
Saturday.
do we need a GoPro?
Because we need extra shots. I want different shots
Of what?
of the car.
Where are you going to put the GoPro?
Oh, I can put it in lots of different places. Tony looks confused.
Where are you going to put a freaking GoPro?
I could put it in the car. I could attach it outside of the car.
I don't want it in the car.
You don't want it in the car?
No, I don't want to be self-conscious. I want to drive my freaking car. See, this is what I'm talking about.
But it's for video.
I don't care what it's
Like,
for.
you have to let me do my job.
Yeah, but my job is to go there and do my thing.
And my
And
job is to film it. Right?
I don't want to be in my car getting all zen and stuff like that, thinking, okay, there's a camera here watching me.
All right, so
If I want
what
to pick my fucking nose, I'm going to pick my nose. Okay?
What if I put
If I want to recite Mary Had a Little Lamb, right, over and over and over again and rock back and forth, I want to be able to do that.
Right?
And that may be what I do. It doesn't make any difference. I don't need a fucking camera watching me.
Okay, so we won't put it inside the car. I can attach it outside
Maybe
the car.
YouTube was a mistake.
Outside the car, so it doesn't even see you. I can do it outside the car.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Okay. It makes my job hard. Don't film me while I'm working. Don't put the camera in the car.
Well, you see how I am when I'm working.
Oh, jeez. Tony, you're crazy. All right, I'm looking for questions. Here, Rocky Myers.
Are you going to any AHRA events at Sykes in Missouri? Yes. We're going to.
Glad to talk to you.
Thank you. Seriously, right?
He's such a
Seriously.
pain in the butt.
Seriously, if you see me there, okay, Rocky, seriously, okay, I'm dead serious. If you see me there, walk over, give me a hug, and then walk away. Okay? You do that, right? And it's like that's, you know what I mean? Okay?
That's perfect, right?
Yeah, give me a hug, and then walk away, right? No touchy stuff. You know, I'm sure you understand that, right? You know, guy, right? Give me a bro hug, and then just walk away.
Killing me. GoPro's extra weight, right, Buff? Yeah, that's the problem. It's not that Tony has issues.
I don't want to be sitting in my freaking car and have a goddamn camera staring at me, just like when I'm working. I don't want to have a camera staring at me.
Give the kid. Thank you. You chose this path. It comes with sacrifice. So give me a hard time.
I didn't choose this path. This path chose me.
Oh, right. Right. Thank you, most little parts. Oh, let's see. Oh, man. Okay. Put it looking out the windshield. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I won't face it towards you, Tony. Let's see. Jason says, Kathy, you just got him past working on camera. Baby steps. This is true. Yeah, I got a couple of shots of him working. I got you welding. Remember? I
Yeah,
was like, I'm turning the camera on. He just starts ignoring me.
because I'm angry.
I think he's angry when he's working. So I just filmed it anyway.
I'm not.
But then, well, you're not angry.
I'm not angry
You're
when
not
I'm
sociable.
working. I'm angry that I'm being viewed while I'm working, right? Like I got this. I got this help of Lee. He's been coming by. Lee Henderson, right? He's been coming by and helped me for the last week or so. And he's been cleaning parts and stuff like that. He does phenomenal work, right? But he talks to me all day, and I'm like, shut up, right? And he just keeps talking, and I ignore him, and I just keep working, and he keeps talking, and it's like, but I'm not a talkative
You're not
person.
sociable when you
No,
work.
if
I get
okay,
that.
seriously, and this is like no exaggeration, okay? In my like I could go like 8 or 10 hours, right, in my shop and never utter a sound. You know what I mean? Just never utter a sound, right? Because that's how I work. I get in my head
I do the same
and I'm just in my head. And I don't want to talk.
I
I don't
become
want-
murderous when I
Yeah.
get bothered when I'm working.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Because anyway, Tony is too busy for us.
No, I'm not
No,
too
he's
busy
not.
for you.
He's not too busy for anybody.
That's why do you think I come here every Sunday night? Because I want to spend time with you guys and I want to talk to you, right? Because I'm not in my shop. I'm not working. My head isn't in a car or anything like that. So I like to come here and
So you were glad that though when we made the video about the car that I had those shots of you welding. Remember when we made the video
yes,
of all your welds, and then I was like, hey, I have this footage,
right.
and you're like, okay, that's awesome, put that in.
Yeah.
But we have to fight about it first.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, those.
No, well, it's just like if you watched that Miata video we did the other day, right? That's right, Tom. You saw that happen. No, it's just like when we were. Lee is a good guy. Yeah, absolutely. So it's just like when we were working on the car, okay, and it's like you see the way I work, right? And that's the way I work. We had, John Wilburn had visited, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so we'll do some talking, we'll do some, and it's okay, well, let's just shoot a video, right? So we just shot it. It wasn't really planned out. It just kind of happened spontaneously. But like, that's how I work. And when I resent anybody around me while I'm working, you know what I mean? It's like, even if you're helping me, see, that's the thing you got to understand, okay?
This is why you have a friend.
This is why, no, I'm serious. I am the worst person in the world to work with. I'm the first, listen to me, right? Even if you're helping me, even if
I don't like working with you.
so no, I'm serious about this, okay? I'm serious. Let's say I call you up and I tell you I need help desperately here at the shop, right? I come quick right now, okay? From that instant, I resent you and I resent you being around.
This is a little too much information.
I'm telling you, I have issues.
Yeah, you do.
They serve me well though, you know what I mean?
Slow Quest.
yeah.
Thank you. Slow Quest.
Thank you, Slow Quest.
You cheated by cutting out all the metal on the Miata. That's how minor
Minor transfer.
cuts on the Starion/slant 6 swap. It does sit way far forward, however. This is going to be a street driver.
It's good. We're building that thing for autocross, and I got that motor as far back as I can get it, and I get it as low as I can get it, and I think it's going. All right, Zip Ties and Bias Place. He is drunk.
What's up, Zip Ties?
Our brother from Kanadistan.
Can't talk when you're thinking. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm way behind now. See, because you just going on and going on.
We get big celebrities like Zip Ties comes here.
Yeah, right? Big celebrities.
He is a big celebrity. Everybody knows him.
I know. At the car show, the subscribers bring their kids for UTG Story Hour. One of the books Tony reads is The
Little Slant 6 That Could. I should write that book. We should write that book.
Do you want me to draw it out?
Yeah, draw it out. The Little Slant That Could.
Because Tony's got some issues, gotcha.
I do.
But you're very good in other ways, which are counter to how you are that way. So it's very strange.
When I'm around my cars, no, I'm serious. Okay, like you come over and eat, right? You know what I mean? I'm the nicest person in the world, right? You know, you got any problem with your issues with your cars? Bring them. I'm the nicest guy in the world. You know, you drop something in the supermarket, I'll run and swoop it up and hand it back to you. That's the way I am, right? Except if I'm around my cars. If I'm around my cars, leave me the fuck alone.
Okay.
Don't talk to me.
Vince,
Go away, right? Even if I called you there.
Vince says, give yourself more credit. You look calm on the GTX shot.
Because
Yeah.
it's not my car. B, it's Andy's job. It's his car and it's his job, and I'm just assisting. Totally different animal.
Oh, Rocky has this question.
Summer is coming. Any of the cars have working AC? Yes, her car does.
For a little bit. Works for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it works. I had a problem with the expansion valve. I think I finally got it straight though.
Bodgemeister.
Yes.
If I get a 69 Charger body shell, what cheaper car chassis would it fit onto for a budget-ish Charger build? Oof.
Any 65 through 70 B body, it go right on.
Where do you get the metal drive gear for the Slant 6?
Good question.
You know?
I don't even have one. The last distributor I had that had one, I gave away and I forgot to take it off. So I don't even have one.
Campesino Plastic. What are you using for heads on the 72 Coronet?
They're 67 through 69, 273, 318 heads. Closed chamber with the same size valves as the 318. But they have the best exhaust port out of all of the production Mopar solenoids.
Oh, do you need speed shops on? They're going live right now.
Oh, nice.
Thanks.
Just pop over there. Somebody, I can't do it myself, but somebody pop over there and tell them we said hello.
Let's see. What's the history with the mannequin head?
Oh, I
You
can't.
found that in the road, didn't you?
I can't talk about that.
Found his way in the road.
I can't talk about that.
He's like, this will make a good prop for something. Are you drunk? No, Tony doesn't even drink.
I don't drink.
Let's see. Here. What's up, Lobo GTX? When the 67 GTX work is finished, let me make a test drive.
It's between her and Andy.
Yeah. No, Andy can make a test drive. It's his car. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
Just got a 74 Gran Turismo Sport that I'm making into
Starsky and Hutch.
car. What's your guys' favorite movie TV cars? Oof.
The Valiant from Duel is always.
Really?
Is
You
always
like that?
I love that car. A Hemi Orange four-door Valiant. I mean, how do you know? And it was factory that way.
What?
The Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite TV movie cars?
Oh, I like all the cars that are in It's a Mad World.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. And it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a mad world. Watch that thing. Yeah, all of the cars in there. I could watch that over and over again just because of the cars.
Zip Tie says,
His expansion valve was having an issue. Turned out it was a Mexican food place in town.
Nice. So how's Canada?
Canada stand.
That's Canada stand. Is it warm there yet? Probably not, right?
I think
Did they thaw out?
I think they're still like. Is Canada all like locked down and shit like that? Do you guys have to wear bags over your heads?
We don't have a mask thing at all. Our governor took it off completely.
That's right. We have
can go
no. Yeah.
anywhere, no,
There's still people walking around with the damn things.
Yeah, but no, we have no restrictions whatsoever. All gone. Let's see. Chris, what's your opinion on the Pontiac 400 block? I've been thinking of digging into it and making it a performer.
Chris, don't you ask me that question twice a week, every week?
Oh, Chris, what is your opinion of it, though?
It's good. It's good.
It's a good block?
It's a good block.
Yeah.
It's a happy block.
Right, you think so, right? Yeah. Okay. Good evening, Mopar Den.
What's going on, Mopar then?
Let's see, I'm way behind here. You're lucky. Okay, Zip Tie says, Canada stand is cold. I think that's supposed to the porch.
I hate when that happens.
Also, we wear bags on our heads to improve the looks.
I hate when your nuts freeze to a porch. That's it doesn't get anywhere. Or a paint can. You ever get them stuck to a paint can?
Paint can.
Yeah.
All right. Kuda says, yeah, they're on total lockdown unless you take a plane. Like,
Crazy.
sorry, guys. Oh, no, don't unsub from DD. For shadow streaming us? No, don't
No,
unsub.
why would you do that?
DD's Speed Shop is really good.
They come on here, we go on there. Yeah, no. Don't unsub from them.
It's okay.
In fact, go over there and apologize.
It's all right.
Tell them that we told you to go back there and resub and apologize for unsubbing.
No, they're awesome people.
They're some of my favorite people in the world. We actually had them on here.
Yeah. They're not doing anything to hurt us. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, no. They reaffirm my faith in humanity. And Zip Ties turned me on to them.
Yep. We double back really ugly ones just in case the bed falls off.
It's important to do.
Yeah, DD Speed Shop is awesome. Let's see, Paul Gray. Can you do a bike project in the future for your Scottish fans?
I was gonna do. I picked up a Honda CL350 that I was gonna do, and then I picked up like 2 parts bikes, and I was like, and I had enough stuff to do 2 full bikes, and I was really into it. I was really into the idea, but like it's like I can explain it to you. It's like I have this focus issue, so I need to kind of keep things. Yeah. I need to kind of keep things in a certain OCD order. You see what I'm saying? So when I took on the Miata, because I realized I really want to do auto cross and stuff like that. It was like the Miata displaced the Hondas. So I sold those, and I've got the. So yeah, you probably won't see any bike stuff from me in the foreseeable future.
If you're interested to have what's the oil filter relocation setup? It helps with the Miata.
Oh, thanks, Brian, but I don't need it. It's I cleared. I just trimmed away a little bit more of the floor and the bulkhead that was there, and you can literally get your hand right on the filter and screw it on, screw it off, no problem.
Thank you, Brian. That's nice.
Yeah, there is tons of room around the entire motor now.
Rick, yes, when driving on the highway and all of a sudden the 7 1/4 brakes, is that very dangerous? Or can you still slow down and stop?
7 1/4 don't break when you're driving on the highway. 7 1/4 break when you load them, right? So like if you take off hard, what gives on them is the spider gears.
Oh no, Zip Tie says DD Speed Shop hurt my feelers.
Well, what did they do? How is that possible?
I don't know. I have no idea.
How is that possible? What did they do to you, Zip Ties?
Oh no, this is terrible. YouTube things. Wait, let me get to the bottom.
Suicide Kings. Oh, thank you, Ruth. I can't keep up with all the videos on my project's community help. I really need a hood for my 72 Valiant near North Carolina. Oh, well, I mean, you just put the shout out there. I mean, let's see who pops up. Go back, Suicide Kings.
I'm going back.
Right there, Suicide King 69. Are you the guy with the Studebaker? Are you the same guy with the Studebaker? Will I be willing to do a video more pricey in the future? Yes, very possibly. And yeah, the RV2 compressor. Yeah, well, it is a good possibility of doing that.
Let's see. I'm all messed up here. Hang on. I don't know what happened. So, okay. Hang on. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Oh, he says Danny's mint is the beer dog.
Okay, so Suicide King. Okay, there's a Studebaker, a gold Studebaker, straight front axle car, called the Suicide King, and I was just wondering if you were the same guy.
Uh-oh, I'm stuck again. Okay, Telephone Garage. What's your opinion on the big three car companies fudging the numbers on engine performance during the gas crisis in the 70s? They lied? People lied?
So look, I really don't have an opinion on that. I don't
You should
know.
think about that.
I mean, the only numbers I could think of the fudging was like the LS6 was rated at like 425 when it was like an honest 465, 470 horsepower motor. Geez, I really, it wasn't a gas crisis. It was the insurance deal that made them fudge numbers. I really don't have an opinion on that. It's just, like as if Detroit never lied to us before.
No, people lie. That's crazy. DMC Productions. Can you explain the distributor on Bottle Rocket? Dual point setup on a toggle for nitrous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Mallory dual point, and one set of points is I forget now. It's been so long. It's either 8 or 10 degrees ahead of the other set. So if you set it for 36 degrees NA, you can just flip a toggle switch and back it off to spray. So it's like a manual distributor retard. And I didn't invent that. That's actually from, well, long before. Bill Jenkins is the guy who it was Wally Booth. As far as I know, Wally Booth was the first one to do that. And it had nothing to do with nitrous. It was just a top end retard, because engines like to have the timing retarded as they get to the load diminishes and they get to the top end. So I know Wally Booth did it, and then Bill Jenkins did it up until like not up until the early 70s. So I didn't invent that. I just adapted it to our project.
Oops. Oh, yeah, okay. They didn't even fix the numbers in the 70s. They just factory rated outside.
Right. Yes.
Tom Hughes, how are you going to fix the Pinions number so it doesn't break again?
The rubber broke off, right? You know, the actual rubber snubber. So all I'm doing is I'm taking an old piece of tire, and I'm just attaching a square of rubber from a tire over the top of it. So easy fix.
Bill, greetings from Reno, Nevada. What are your heavy rotation YouTube channels? And have you ever seen the movie Love the Beast?
I have never seen Love the Beast. I have no idea what that's about.
Me neither.
You can tell us what it's about, and maybe I will want to watch it.
Okay.
My heavy rotation YouTube channels, I don't really watch very much.
You don't have time to watch.
Yeah, I don't have
That's
time.
the
I
problem.
don't have time.
We check in.
Yeah,
We check in.
we check in on our regulars,
Yeah.
right? As far as people who I don't know, right, and who are like, you know, interacting with our channel, regular car review. I love that channel. It's probably one of my favorites. Garage 54. Who doesn't love, like, you know, Garage 54? Who else? Come on, I know there's others.
Oh, people that we don't talk to?
Yeah.
Like that we don't know?
Yeah, people that we don't know.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Garage 54, regular car reviews. I'm trying to think of who else there might be.
I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, there's a few of them tonight. I miss Tourette's guy. Tourette's guy was my favorite.
You might have mentioned this, but I just got here. What's going on with the Home Kitchen 360 engine rebuild?
It's not a 360, it's a 318. Okay, and I haven't since we took the shop. I haven't been here at the house for anything but to eat and sleep
And shower.
and shower.
Is the shower there or the
Right.
public shower there?
So it's good. I'm throwing in a towel on that. It's going to the shop. I'm gonna end up doing it at the shop. So
I'd like my kitchen back.
she's getting her
That's
kitchen
what I'm
back.
cooking right now.
You know, it's a fail. I failed.
I
Go
feel
ahead.
real fail.
You know, hit me with all of this. He never finishes anything.
You know, we didn't know we were getting shot.
Yeah, when we started that, I had no idea the shop was going to come up. And since we moved into the shop, it has
It's
eaten
impossible
my
to
life,
be here.
right? Yeah, it's impossible to be here. So
We can
that's
run back
it
and
with that.
forth.
So I'm throwing in the towel on the kitchen aspect of building that engine and bringing it to the shop. And the purpose of that engine is The one that's in Bottle Rocket now is a temporary motor. It's something I put together just to
Blow up.
sort the car out and blow it up, just to see it, how far you can go before it blows up. That 318 that I'm building is the one that is destined to eventually be in Bottle Rocket.
Rick S., do you use thread locker on your bolts or mostly just proper torque? The 69 Plymouth manual never seems to say anything about that.
It just depends. Like I'll use thread locker on flywheel bolts. I'll use it on camshaft bolts. Not too many. There really aren't too many areas on a regular car that I use it. Race cars, of course, those things. Pinion, ring gear bolts. I use my ring gear bolts. Geez, I'm drawing a blank now. There's several areas that it just depends on the application whether or not to use them. If it's a high frequency vibration area, you know, where there's a lot of harmonics involved in the assembly, then yeah, I use thread locker. If it's not, then I don't bother.
Chris wants to know if he can send Joel some pinstriping.
And we could just like stick it. Oh, you mean like pinstriping, like tape?
Must be. Yeah. I don't know. Do you need pinstriping?
No,
No?
not really. I mean, if I ever build
What would you put it on?
I don't know if I ever build a custom. I'll that would be cool. We should shop. We should shop something.
The cars look really cool. No, you're not chopping anything. Some of the cars look really cool with pinstriping. Like all the Rotors and Satellites used to have pinstriping. They
Yeah,
don't have pinstriping on anything.
it can be overdone though.
It depends. Sometimes it looks really good. Like it looks really good on the 71 Charger. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Ari, don't talk shit about Total.
Fuck salt.
Okay, people don't know what you're talking about. He's talking about.
Don't talk shit about Total.
Yeah, he's talking about
Ari,
what's his name?
Tourette's guy.
Tourette's guy, yeah.
Ari, I used to drive her out of her mind,
No,
right?
he would put it on
I
all
was-
the time.
I was a Tourette's guy fanatic when he first came, you know, like this is going back like 10, 12 years ago, right? I walked around the house all day and did Tourette's guy.
Pretending he had Tourette's.
Yeah, it drove her out of her mind. I still do it. I still slip into Tourette's guy every once in a while.
Not really. This is better. When is Austin coming back for the carb install?
He was supposed to come back on Thursday. Something happened. He's got a timing chain issue, whatever it is. He'll be back either tomorrow. He'll be back this week.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you, Austin.
Appreciate that. Let's see, 350 George. I had my bore sleeves due to a crack. How common or dumb is it to continue to use that block? Do they tend to leak? I'm getting water out my headers, just service the block too.
Ooh,
Shake my head.
yeah, shake my head too. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, if the block, there's nothing wrong with running a sleeve block. I mean, it's done all the time, right? And especially when you get to more rarer and exotic things, you know what I mean? You know, where you the blocks don't grow on trees. It's a common practice. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you leak in water, I mean, there might have been, you know, I can't pull it out, bro. Pull it out. I'm sorry. Sucks, but you got to pull it out.
Austin wants to know, newbie here, what's the story with the dual spark plug 426 Hemis?
That's something that they experimented with. They didn't experiment with it. They went to it in, God, that was 1973. 1973. I forget which designation it was. The D something. The D5 was definitely a dual plug. But anyway, that was something. That was one of Chrysler engineers' thing. And it's just so easy to put the second spark plug in there. So they ran it in wherever it was legal, in pro stock and whatnot. The thing about the dual spark plug is that you can back the timing off. So let's just say the car runs best at 36 degrees. You know, you make a maximum power 36 degrees. With that second spark plug, you can back the timing off approximately 4 degrees on a 426 Hemi and get the same results. So there's less chance of detonation. It softens the overall hit. Then with the nitro cars, they went to dual plug in they went to dual plug literally the same year that I started actually getting heavy involved in it, 1985. And that was when the first dual plug heads started to appear there. And it was the same thing with that. I didn't get my hands on a car with dual plug heads until, maybe 2 years after it had become the thing. And the first thing when we swapped to the dual plug heads, the Dart heads, we had been running at 65 degrees with the single plug. And we went to the dual mag dual plug with a Super Mag 5, and not changing anything else on the tune-up, just adding the second plug. We grenaded everything, like melted, destroyed everything. Because it was that effective in getting the spark plug lit earlier, and we had to go from 65 degrees to 53 degrees with the tune-up that we had in order to get the same thing. So on a gasoline motor, it's worth approximately 4 degrees, and on the nitro motor, it was worth 10 degrees. What?
Good answer.
I hope that answered it.
Chris says art for the shop, the pinstriping. Not actual pinstriping. Art for the shop, pinstriping art for the shop.
Really? Pinstriping art for the shop?
Yeah. Like to put it on board and you hang it up on the wall.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice.
He says that would be nice, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. See. James Hall, trying to find a decent pre-EFI pickup truck to get into wrenching on a budget. Anything you particularly recommend or warn against, or is that out of your particular wheelhouse?
No, man. I mean, I would pre-EFI. I mean, like anything 87 and down. Pickup. Square bodies are through the roof, right? Honestly, bro, flip a coin. Any of the big three, Ford, Dodge. I love mini trucks, right? Flip a coin. Any of the big three, pre-1987 or so. 88, 87, they're all carbureted. You can't go wrong with any of them. They're all great packages. They're all great platforms to work with. I would say if the current going for a square body GM car or a Chevy doesn't freak you out, then that would be probably the easiest and best choice to get into.
Okay, I'm way behind. Sorry, guys.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm way behind. Let me try to catch up. Okay, Chaz or Chase. I'm not sure. I'm Tony. Does heat soak affect stainless braided fuel line?
Yes, it does. It's the braided stainless line is still a rubber hose, right? And now you're wrapping it with the stainless, which is of course.
Able D. What do you recommend for cleaning gas tanks?
It just depends. It just depends how much rust is in there. If you've got big, flaky, chunky rust, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time because it will continue rusting. Unless you're going to coat the inside of the tank like they do with motorcycles. They use that stuff called cream, right? Which works. It works really good on motorcycle tanks. On a car tank, it's completely different. If you get a car tank to where you've got scaly rust in there, no matter what you do, it's going to continue to rust afterwards. So don't even bother cleaning it. We just went through that with that GTX. The gas tank is brand new on the outside. On the inside, it's got giant. Literally, it's like rust soup at the bottom of it, right? It's like there's nothing you can do to clean that tank and seal it that's worthwhile. And honestly, the cream treatment is so expensive for a tank that size. It's cheaper to just go get a new tank.
Here's a question. What's your opinion of Clarkson Man Hammond era Top Gear UK?
We watch that all the time. We watch that more than anything else, right? This is no exaggeration, okay?
It's on all the time.
It's on all the time. When we finish this live, okay, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to look for ice cream and not find any because.
I'll get you ice cream.
You're going to go to the store and get ice
cream?
Okay. And then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to put on something from those guys, either Top Gear or the Grand Tour. Yeah, absolutely. The greatest show in the history of anything.
So that's our opinion on that.
That's my opinion of Clarkson, May, and Hammond.
Bob Glidden?
I was named in a $30 million lawsuit between Bob Glidden and the IHRA. Let's not talk about that now.
Oh, I don't have time to do art, AT. There's no time for art, like 0 time. Thumbnails is the most I get. Napper, my wife says you're walking fucking dictionary of Taj Mopar. She's amazed by what you know.
Yeah, I hold back. Oh, please, I hold back.
I thought you read Wikipedia.
I
Gave out bad advice.
I just throw out like just like the simple things. I hold back. Yeah. I've actually memorized the metallurgical properties of every single component ever, done by Chrysler. Please, I hold back.
What's up, Ralph?
What's happening, man?
According to British law, anyone claims salon swimming in the open waters of England and Wales belongs to the Queen.
Yeah, of course. Duh.
Let's see. We're still talking about the roadkill thing.
Roadkill.
The piston thing. Still asking about that. Yeah, here. Go ahead.
Hey, UT. Roadkill says backwards facing pistons of the engine does absolutely nothing in regards to power. Is this true? Listen, those ladies know a lot about cars, but you gotta take it all in perspective, is what I'm saying. Okay, what do I know?
You just stop giving people bad advice. One more thing. Now the cruise season is kicked off. I've been cruising the 66 Belvedere 2 convertible.
Nice.
It's an absolute blast. So glad I stuck with the 318, just the perfect engine, enjoying all the video content of the new shop.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, more than.
Look at this, the picture of his car.
I know, it's beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Oh, Here you go. Fist punts. How would backwards facing pistons even make power? No shit, it won't.
Okay.
Well, we try and give people the worst advice ever. Right?
Yeah, I do try to give people bad advice.
Right. That's the whole point of what we do. Let's see. Jay, what actually causes a gas tank to rust from the inside? Did you short out?
Stuff.
Sorry, I don't think you know.
Stuff.
I look it up.
I'll have to look that up. I'll get back to you later.
James May. If you were the true slant guru, would you do an episode turning one into a two-stroke?
First off, I'm not a Slant 6 guru. I'm learning the engine, so I'm far from a guru. How do you do it? Would you do an episode of turn one to two-stroke? You couldn't turn a Slant 6 into a two-stroke just because of the way the block is constructed. There's no way you can put the transfer ports and everything in there. No. Diesel could be done. Two-stroke, no.
Uh-oh. You see, I missed the super chat, but I think I got it. Okay, that's how far behind I am. If I missed anything, yell at me, guys. Okay. Andy.
Yeah.
What's the GPS drag racing thing you use in your car? Do you like it?
It's a G-Tech. Yeah, it works really good.
Yeah. No. US Top Gear?
Oh, Jesus.
No.
What a travesty.
No.
What a travesty.
We don't watch that.
Please.
Let's see. They're answering the question for you about the yes tank. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Let's see. Okay. Alan, why don't you wear goggles when you plasma cut?
Why? I don't need the goggles when I plasma cut.
Because you're in the moment, right? So you don't think to do stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I don't. When I need eye protection, you got to remember something. I'm doing this stuff for almost a half a century. Okay, I mean, like, I've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. I've been on fire. I've had welding flash. I've had everything you can imagine. Right? I know what I can get away with, and I know what I can't get away with. And then you got all these people who sit down and pee that are like, well, how come you don't do this? How come you don't do that? Why don't you remember? Blah, 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 right? Now, I don't wear them just to fuck with you.
18, thank you. Hello from the UK,
Thank
Shane
you.
and Kathy. It would be great to see some of my artwork on the walls of the shop. The perfect blank canvas.
Fly her out to the UK.
I don't have time to make anything.
Fly UK to the UK, and she will.
Thank you, though.
Yes, thank you.
Like, yeah, I wish I did have time to do that, but I don't. Alan says, hell yeah, you two old school, I love it. Did the Wright brothers have protection? Eye protection?
They had
No,
nothing.
They just got
They had
plain
nothing.
blue, right.
They had a hat. They went and they sent it, right?
Oh, 318 will run. Thank you. Uncle Tony's Garage, cheering for Bottle Rocket at Jake's driveway next weekend.
Are you close? I hope you should make it, man.
Yeah, that would be cool. You would talk to him, right?
I would hit next to him. I would talk. I think, yeah.
It's Tony's being antisocial. No, you were great. Like at the meetup.
Oh, the meetup is different because I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
working on
fine.
anything.
Yeah, you're fine with people. I don't know. He gets weird. Let's see. Don and Wendy, you listen to music when you're working on cars.
No, I like to work in silence.
Yeah.
In all ways, because I need that, right? I need that zen. When I get into work mode, you know what I mean? I get into that, and it's just like, no, I don't want any interruptions. I don't want anything taking my complete focus off the thing that I'm working on.
Fred says, I think it would be really nice to have pictures of viewers' rides posted on one wall. I bet you could fill up an entire wall.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we want to do that. We talked about doing exactly that, and we will do that. Just right now,
If you want to start sending us some photos, you're more than welcome, and we'll start collecting them for the.
we're still getting comfortable with all of the new routines and all of the new things. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but that's definitely coming. Absolutely.
Are you a fan of The Clash?
Well, not really.
We went to go see them.
Did we?
Yeah, we saw them.
I mean, they're okay.
All right. They're pretty good. Back then.
We didn't go to see them. We went to see the
We went to
Who,
see the Who, and they opened for them.
and they opened for them. Yeah.
David Ray Channel 20. Send it to anybody. Does floor voltage change between crank and room position?
Yes. Yes, it gets full battery voltage in the crank position, and it gets resisted voltage in the run position. That's where it goes through the ballast resistor.
Uncle Tony's music is the sound of tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that. None of our radios work.
Yeah, I know. They say I don't want to listen to music when I'm driving because I want to listen to my car,
Yeah.
and I don't listen to anything when I'm working because I want to listen to it. And you got to understand something. See, if I'm going to listen to music, right? I don't just listen to music. I have to like it's got to go to 11. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be like, or like in other words, like there's no. I'm not. See, I'm a manic extremist. I don't like anything moderate. So it's like I'd rather have zero sound or anything like that. Or if there's going to be sound, it's got to be as loud as it could possibly get. It's got to be fucking hard, right?
Chris wants to know what's next to the duster.
Duster.
Yeah.
What duster?
The duster in our yard.
Nothing.
Nothing is next
Nothing.
to the duster.
It's the only car we have, really. It just doesn't really need anything.
Oh, it
Nothing.
needs a headliner.
It needs a headliner, right?
Yeah. Motor Music, Megadeth, Devo, and the Dead Kennedys.
Devo and the Dead Kennedys, absolutely.
Yeah. Replica. It's Replica. He was at the meet and greet.
Yes, yes.
It's the same with music. If you're listening while doing something, you aren't really listening.
Yep.
Rocking it. So if I see you at a show, just come up and slap your face and start talking.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
You want it back?
How big is he? No, probably not.
Like it's okay for people to just run
I mean,
and slap you.
is it a buddy slap or a bitch slap? There's two different things.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't hit.
Yeah.
It's probably not a good
Is it
idea.
front? Is it one of these or is it one of these?
Like a tap on the shoulder.
Right.
That's cool. We can do that. Oh, because you got those reflexes.
An anger management issue, but that's besides the point.
You don't have anger management.
Well, you know, he used to.
Well, you used to, yeah, when you were young. Let's see. Brandon, any reason why the kickdown isn't working on my 1972, it moved on my 727.
Everything's set up correctly and the lever is fully open at full throttle. Any reason why the kickdown isn't working? It's a valve body issue. The only thing it could be is a valve body issue. And I can't tell you exactly what valve body issue it is, but that's where you're going to find your problem. The kickdown regulates line pressure. Do a Google search on it.
Let's see. Simon, what is your pro and con about GMG body of the 80s?
No con at all. One con: the rear suspension needs a lot of help to make them work right. You know, I like the full frame thing. I like the whole G body shuffle thing. But no con. I love those cars.
Yeah. Okay. Abel says, my son wants to know what your first toy car was.
Oh God. First toy car. I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to go back that far. I mean, I think I know what it was. I might be wrong, but it's the one that comes to my mind. Is when I was 3 or 4, my father bought a Mustang. This is 1966, and they gave models when you bought those cars. They gave you a model of the car, and I didn't know how to put it together at that stage, but like that was, I think, the first thing I played around with as far as a car goes. And then there might have been something earlier, but that's the one that I remember the most.
Let's see. Miles, I have an 87 Ram Charter I bought in 90. Love the truck. The power windows don't work. I replaced the motors and the switches and have current and good grounds. Any ideas?
That doesn't make any sense. You have current and good grounds. You've replaced the motors and the switches. Ronald, I mean, you're leaving something out. You know what I mean? Like you're leaving something out of this equation here. If you put direct voltage to the motors, do they move? And when you're saying you've got good ground and a good current, well, remember it's switches, right? You know, depending on up or down, the polarity switches. I mean, where are you checking it from? I mean, I don't know.
Paul Gabazzola, what's up, Paul? Set of cream, ductile iron rocker arms.
The pads are worn. Do you know of a shop that can repair them? Not offhand. I mean, you could bring them to somebody who does metal treating and have them. I mean, you can grind them smooth yourself, but then you need to have them quenched to the right hardness. So you need to have somebody who's familiar with that process, or you do it yourself. You know, I mean, it's just heat and oil, but how hot and what you know what I'm saying? Grind them smooth and figure out how to quench them, and that's to get the correct hardness back.
Can you answer this question for
Sure.
Emily?
By how much has your 60 and ET improved by flipping the pistons? 60 foot improved, went from like a 1.8 60 foot to a 0.006 60 foot. I can't tell you what the rest of the ET was because I was blacked out. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you this. When I came to, right? When I came to, the car was a foot shorter than when I left the starting line. The car was a full foot shorter and all of the paint was burned off of the fucking hood.
That's, wow.
Yeah, that's what happens when you flip the pistons around.
Let's see. NGW. I found a 58-54 polyhead factory 4-barrel. Is the block and crank the same?
Yes.
54 Hemi.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Intakes are the same?
The pistons are different because it's got a valve, or it's got an exhaust valve relief notch that's kind of like moved off to one side. But yeah, the blocks, the crank, the rods, all that stuff is exactly the same.
Did you have any cars with priceless electronic voice alert system?
I had a Plymouth Caravelle for like a month or two that had that. The door is ajar. No, it's not. The door is ajar. No, the door is a door. The door is ajar. I used to have those conversations with it. You know?
Yeah. Rick, yes, how about 6-pack on the Sun 6? Will never work, will it?
Nah.
Yeah. You hit hyperspeed, holy wow.
Yeah, that's what happened. Burned all of the paint off the. You can tell those ladies at Roadkill that that's what happened.
Thank you, Ari. Let's see. You have special live on the 25th?
Oh, of course,
What's on the 25th?
special live.
No, wait a minute. Is there something happening on the 25th?
I have no idea.
Wait, barking good. Is something going on? I need to put it on my calendar. How do you come up with these answers? I love them.
Which answers?
Let's see. Okay, James Wilhite. What's up with the timing cam gear being slotted nowadays for the slant 6?
I have no idea what you're talking about, James.
No?
No. Cam gear being slotted nowadays for the Slant 6. I don't know what you mean. Maybe I'm missing something.
When's the next time we get ACO? Oof.
Never.
Yeah, that's pretty far away from us.
Never. ATCO was my home away from home. Englishtown was my home away from home, and ATCO was my home away from my home away from home. For years, right? But no, I'll never be there again. If I could pay money to never visit New Jersey again, I would pay good money.
Oh, is that the roll up your Windows anniversary? Is that what that is?
Oh, is it?
I have no idea.
We'll do a special live. We'll roll up all the windows on our cars.
Yeah.
We go from car to car and just roll up all the damn windows.
Yeah. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of windows, Tony. Let's see. Would I get more horsepower if I flipped the whole engine?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Would it be possible to run a Slant 6 on 2 cylinders at a time? I think it could.
Yeah. I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, you'd have to saw off the other 4 because I don't think the 2 functioning ones would have enough oomph to roll the pumping losses of the 4 cylinders. But yeah, you could cut it down and make a functional 2-cylinder out of it, which would actually be pretty cool. You put that on like a motorcycle frame. That would be. I like that. Showing the person. Are the Olds 455, Buick 455, and Pontiac 455 the somewhat same engines? Not even close. They're all completely different engines. They're all great engines. And it's hard to, I mean, yeah, I lean towards the Buick. You know what I'm saying? The Pontiac has the most traditional performance potential. Okay, the Buick is it's just a torque beast that's got some idiosyncrasies, but that's my personal favorite. The Oldsmobile 455 is another torque motor, smoothest engine I think I've ever worked with. Right, they're all great engines. I can't say anything bad about any of those motors.
0. Can we get our slag hammer shirts? Okay, so I keep asking Tony about shirts, and he's like, "No, can't do that." He's like, "No, can't do that."
I think
He
it's.
has a very
I think it's.
specific aesthetic when it comes to our merchandise.
I think it's lame to like put the name of one of your projects on a shirt. You know what I mean? It's
I'm
like
not sure why you think that.
how
You have to really, I don't know. Why? Why is that lame?
I find that it's like
You can do it in a cool way.
I don't think it can be done in a cool way. Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
You've seen some shirts that you don't like, so you associate that with.
I think it's I just don't it just doesn't like I want to promote the channel. Obviously, we throw our logo on all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? But to promote like to
You
merchandise
want
a specific
the
car.
philosophy and not the materials.
Exactly.
Is that what you want to do?
Bingo. Okay, Uncle Kathy just hit it, right? The cars have names, they have personalities and stuff like that, but we're not trying to like feature the car. It's the things that we do with the car that we learn from the cars. It's the philosophies and the processes and so on and so forth, more so than the car itself. And I think that like promoting the vehicles themselves, like do a slag hammer shirt. I do love that name. That's the name of this car, right? Or a Miata shirt or anything like that. To me, it just takes away from the.
Well, I don't know how you do T-shirts on philosophy.
You can't do T-shirts on
Right.
philosophy. Well, you can. You can. It's not how fast you go,
Right.
right? It's how you go fast, right? It's like that's
But that means you won't have an expanded merch line.
that's okay.
But they want a slag hammer shirt. Well, what about this? He says, Uncle Tony's Garage, home of the slag hammer.
What the? Okay, maybe, yeah.
Is that better?
That's why I love Zero. Right? Because
He understands.
he's an advanced thinker.
Right.
Okay, that's like that's. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
But they're just asking about the Top Gear thing before, right?
Yeah,
Somebody asked about Top Gear. I was like, I'm a Top Gear freak. I love it. And it's because they're all advanced thinkers. That's what makes that show.
But
That's
they
why
have merch with their cars on it.
it's different. It's different. It's
What's
different. I'll explain the
Okay.
nuances, or Zero will explain the
You
nuances.
nuances.
But yeah, I'm sorry, like the American Top Gear or all of these different things, right? But nothing can duplicate the original Top Gear because you had 3 advanced thinkers grouped together, and that's what made the chemistry of that show. And like fucking Zero is like one of those advanced
What
fucking
about
thinkers.
this?
Nothing is lighter than a hole. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, that's good. That's a good philosophical shirt.
Moyada. You have to come up with something for that. There's so many variations on the name. I was reading through the comments back in.
Yeah, it's hard. We'll come up with something.
Mike, I have a vibration at about 30 to 40 miles per hour in a 65 300. I see in the service manual that the drive shaft has to be leveled with a special leveling tool.
No, that's not it. You probably have a worn tail shaft bushing. Climb under the car, put it in neutral, right? And grab the front yoke, okay? grab the front yoke and move it up and down like this. And if you feel any play there, that's where your vibration is, the tail shaft pushing. That's the most common cause of vibration in those things. Could be something else, but that's the first thing I would check.
The Miata haunts my dreams.
Mine too. Mine too. I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, this morning, all right? And it was like the very first thing was like, gotta work on the doghouse, right? You know what I mean? It was like, okay. And just went.
Let's make a song out of rolling up your windows in donut media style.
Oh, I would rather have Roman from
Yeah, you
Regular
tell
Car
us.
Review.
We're nobody.
I would rather have him write the song. Mazpar.
It sounds like Mazepin. What is that? Mazepin? That stuff that they used to make?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, it is gross.
It's New York food.
Mazpar.
Mazepin.
But it's zero with his
I
advanced
know.
thought again.
Right.
That's probably the answer. You know what? Tomorrow I'll be in the middle of doing something. Okay, I'll be grinding on something. And it was Mazpar. That's it. Uh-oh, you
Gino.
got whimpering out there.
I have a new 6-pack set up on the way for a 440. Should I get the Pro Max upgrades for ease of tuning?
I'm not familiar with the Promax. That's what the external. You can change jetting externally. I'm not familiar with it. I've never used it, so I couldn't really give you an educated opinion on that.
Have you ever been to Maple Grove?
Of course, yes. Maple Grove was one of my local tracks.
Micropay, because you're doing more detailed video on your Roadrunner.
The 68 or the 73. Both of them will have their time.
They're gonna move?
Everything is going to happen in time. Everything we own will get filtered through and included into the channel in time.
The Miata needs some 2.8 liter badges made up for it.
That could be cool.
You're not gonna flip the pistons in that thing, are you?
I better not. I better not. Some TV people
Don't
will make fun of
embarrass
me.
You have more fun with this stuff than they do. Let's see. So Brett says the Miata will make tons more horsepower than stock at least, but I read some other comments where the other guys are saying that the original one made more.
It won't make more peak horsepower. It will probably make about the same, right? Thinking in the 140 to 150 horsepower range, but that's not where the thing is, right? The thing is low mid-range RPM torque. The Slight 6 is got it all over the Miata motor, so you should be able to like run this thing through in like second gear and pull hard from like 2,000, 2,500 RPM on up. Where the four-cylinder motor is got to be over $4,000 or so to make any type of grunt. So yeah, no, I may be giving up peak horsepower. I may be giving up peak horsepower potential, but I've got 2 more cylinders, and those things are doing that work. They're torquing along at lower RPM, and that's what'll get this thing. In my mind, that's what'll get it around the track.
Havoc says hello, Uncle Tony.
Oh, hello, Havoc.
What's your favorite Chevy?
People keep asking me that. It changes all the time.
Does it?
I got to think of bubble top Bel Airs. I like 55s, don't like 57s.
I like the Monty SS.
The Monty SS was awesome. I got to think for 70, 71 Chevelles. I mean, the list can go on. Corvairs. I love Corvairs. All years of Corvairs. I don't know. What's my favorite Chevy? I have a lot of them.
Slantiata. So many variations.
I like that. That's not bad. Slantiata.
This is a different variation. Slantiarda.
Slantiarda.
Yeah.
Where did the Arda come
I
from?
don't know. It's a different
Mazda.
variation. Mazda.
So-
Yeah. Let's see. Brandon. What's your favorite street strip small block moped distributor, manual or vacuum events?
Street strip, I don't bother with vacuum. If it's a performance oriented build, I mean, all mechanical, manual, with a very narrow curve.
We got it done. Who lift the left front tire on launch?
I'm telling you, I moved the weight, and see, a lot of people, okay, because we don't have many thinkers out there. Nobody
They're
thinks.
thinkers,
Okay.
they're just not saying it.
All right, here's the thing, okay?
They can't read your mind.
Yes, the 170 slant is heavier than the 4-cylinder motors replacing it, but the 904 that's going in there is lighter than the Mazda transmission that's coming out of it. So it's actually almost a wash. But the fact is, I moved all of the drivetrain's weight, all of the motor and trans weight is now behind the front wheels. All of the weight of that car is centered between the wheels. I mean,
Chris says, whatever you do, don't flip that Miata with that style bar. Don't flip the car.
Oh, no.
No. Do you need a better bar than that?
I need a better driver than me. I'm not worried.
Yeah,
I tell you
you
what,
shouldn't drive it.
whoever's going to drive the car, they can make the call on
I'm
that.
not
How's
getting
that
involved
sound?
with you.
I'm just going to cruise it around the neighborhood,
No,
take
you're
it to
not
and
gonna
from
do
work.
that.
But
You're
when
not
it when
gonna
it
do
goes and actually does autocross stuff, I'm going to put somebody in there that knows how to do
Well, then you
autocross
better
stuff
put a
because
bar.
I tried autocross once. I'm dangerous. I don't belong on an autocross course. And that's besides the point. I have the hardest time following the cones and all the other shit. So,
Your brother is on. What's up, James?
oh, normal James.
Cat, I sent a valid fucking car question. And you ignore me again. So now I'm going to ask for another Uncle Tony birthday countdown. This could have been avoided if you just answered my car question.
I don't want to talk about
What's
my
your
birthday.
car question, James?
I don't want to talk about my birthday.
We can't do
No, you
that.
could try sending super chat, James.
Oh, he's the People's Republic of New Jersey.
He's
He doesn't have any secret chat.
Right, they don't allow that. Right. It's not allowed in the People's Republic of New Jersey.
Have you ever been to Carlisle? Are we going to go to Carlisle this year? People have been asking.
I've been to Carlisle a couple of times. It is astounding. It's amazing. But last year they had this mask thing. And if there's any chance of anybody hassling me about a mask, I ain't going. So I don't know. I just got to say, I don't want to deal with it.
Ari says, I understand your thinking behind the swap, especially when you explained the shorter stroke of the 170.
Yeah, Ari, it's going to scream. That little thing is going to scream. That's the thing, okay? I'm using the 170. Okay, look, think of it this way, right? Ari, anybody who cares, okay? Think of it this way. I love the Slant 6. I love the Slant 6. I love the Slant 6. Okay, I love the idea of the Slant 6. The thing is a drag motor, okay? Either of them sucks, okay? It's not built for that. It's not intended for that. And it was funny too, because I was watching an episode of the Grand Tour last night, and they were dealing with a couple of vintage late 1950s British, inlines, sixes, right? And I was like, that's the sound. That's what Chrysler engineers were after. They were looking for the European inline six experience. They never had drag racing in mind. They were thinking more touring car, right? European touring car. That's how the engine was designed, right? It's more of it's like. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the 170 and I'm actually putting it in the environment that it was originally intended to be in. So think of it that way. It's like this is like a purity deal. I'm taking the 170 and putting it where the engineers who designed it would have put it. They certainly wouldn't have put it in a drag car.
Benjamin C., what's up? How is Canada? UT, I know you like to reuse head gaskets. However, what brand do you prefer if one isn't available?
If OE isn't available.
Sorry, OE.
I don't reuse all head gaskets. I reuse the steel shim head gaskets. I clean them up, copper coat them, put them back on, and they're fine. I mean, if OE, Felpros are good, Cometics are good. I mean, it's hard to find a bad, aftermarket head gasket. At least I haven't come across any that you say, oh, stay away from stay away from them. They're no good. So it really, it just depends on what you're building.
Eddie Laguna. Hi, Tony. Long time listener, first time caller. People ask me how I know so much about auto and motor repair. Aw. That's cool. Let's see. Lane Ferguson. I relate to your last video. What do you do when you have spare money?
Nothing really.
Okay.
It comes and it goes. Sometimes you got big piles of stuff laying around, and other times you're like, ooh, where'd all the money go? You know what I mean?
We pay rent on the shop.
Yeah, now we pay rent on the shop.
That's what we do.
I don't worry about money. I don't think
Yeah,
about
no.
money. I just keep Steven forward.
Scrolling.
Fubar just put a link to our merch. Thank you, Fubar.
We need some new merch though, Tony.
Yes.
You gotta approve some of my suggestions.
Okay.
0 suggestions. Imagine the Miata with that engine. It's gonna be so sick to see a Mad Max looking car that makes the sound of a vintage jet.
It's not going to be Mad Max looking.
You're gonna make it nice?
Mm. I want it.
You have somebody else paint it?
No, I'm going to paint it.
Oh.
I'm going to paint it. I'm going to do a good job at it. No, that car, in my mind, that car is, I'm going to make that as pretty as I can make it with my own, you know what I mean, within my own devices. I'm painting it electric blue, like B5 blue, Mopar B5 blue. I'm going to leave the wheels white. I think that blue and white contrast looks good. It's going to stay white under the hood. The motor's going to be red. Chrome. I got a chrome alternator for it. I'm going to put a chrome valve cover on it. I want as much chrome as I can get under the hood, so it has that old school kind of feel to it, And the same thing like inside the car. It'll be a very bare interior, you know what I mean? But I'm going to do like an aluminum panel. We were talking about actually doing a wood dash, right? But I don't think I have the talent for that. So I'm going to build like an aluminum dash frame for it. Set a few gauges in there. I'm going for that old school British thing. I have a 3-spoke steering wheel on it. I'm actually. It definitely will not look Mad Max when I'm done with it.
Here's Pun says a comment. The Miata's gonna twist so bad. Probably they already have problems with cowl shape being a convertible.
Nah, it'll be fine. I'll brace it up. If it twists, I brace it up. No big deal. Cold War Motors, one of the best channels on YouTube.
Hey guys, do you know if the Buick Dynaflow has ever been raced with any success? Asking for a friend. Cheers from Canada. Cold War Motors, send me an email because I lost your email. Send me an email.
Has anybody ever raced a Dynaflow? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I can't ever recall any. I mean, if you go back to the early '60s, right? When right. I can't recall any hitter Buicks, right, in any of the automatic classes. So, stock or super stock, you definitely wouldn't have had them in comp or modified. I can't think of any. I'm sure people messed with them, but I don't think with any success.
Sue said King wants to know, since you're old school with cars, does this extend to being old school with household appliances too? Do you still use CRT TVs for watching stuff? We use an R12 refrigerator. Genuinely curious.
No.
I'm only ratting on you because you make YouTube videos.
Okay, I'm only old school with things that I care about. Okay, so like appliances, I don't give a shit about appliances. You know what I mean? The dishwasher.
You try not to buy the electronics.
I try not to, right? I try not to, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
My dishwasher takes a shit. Okay, $300, I'm not throwing a dishwasher in there. You know what I mean? A refrigerator takes a shit, $1,000. I'm throwing a refrigerator in there. I don't care about these things. They just come and go. My cars, I love, right? And when I say I love them, I mean in an unhealthy, unnatural way. And so this is where I'm fanatical about, about the analog thing and being able to relate and interact with every molecule of the vehicle. But and like yeah, I make YouTube videos, but you know what? It's like I don't care about this technology. This computer takes a shit, I get another one. You know, this camera takes a shit, I take another one.
What if the whole thing goes down?
If the whole thing goes down, no problem. I have my
Still work
tools.
on your cars.
I work on my cars. You know what I mean? Like it won't, my life won't change.
We have chickens.
Yeah.
Too many eggs. Garth wants to know, can I ship my 68 satellite to you for an episode?
Do you really want to do that? How far away is it, and what do you want to do to it? And no, I don't. I myself, if so,
Explain
Garth,
how it works.
this is how it works.
Because I don't think anybody knows how it works.
This is how it works.
Because
Okay.
nobody does this, I don't think.
Nobody does this. I'm the only person. We are the only people on YouTube, okay, that do this, and this is how the shop works. Okay, I do not take on jobs. I don't charge for anything.
No?
Okay. What I do is I assist people with their cars. So Garth, if let's say you wanted to do this, right? You want to do something with us on the channel and you want to do something with the shop, well then you have to come with the car and you have to be prepared to do the major work on it. Of course, I will jump in and help and throw wrenches and stuff like that. And you have to be prepared to have all of the parts and pieces that you need to put it together. But yeah, we don't charge for that, and I don't take the lead on that. It's up to you to take the lead. You know what you want to do with the car, and we will help you attain that. And then we shoot the video, right? We shoot the video while all of that's going on. So that's how the deal with the shop works. Just like Andy with the Hemi GTX, it's his car, it's his project, it's his vision, and we're just helping him.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. And no, there's no charge. We do not exchange money for any of the labor that happens at the shop. Hey guys, Cold War Motors dropped a question. Where is it?
Oh, where? I'm scrolling up.
Oh yeah, we answered that already.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
That is a great channel. Cold War Motors is that's one of my when I want to just chill and just watch people work and like humans, nice guys, and watch. And that's one of the best channels out there. I like the Haggerty channel too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's a Clarkson scene from Love the Beast. I'm gonna send you a link to the Love the Beast and the extended Clarkson scene from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Phil.
I'm way behind again because Tony keeps talking. Old school British look at a Japanese car with an American motor. Love it.
It's a freak show.
Yeah, you think?
We made Shitbox Nation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What are you using as a trans mount now that the PPF is removed?
I'm going to make a transmission course number for it.
Let's see. Sobering restoration services horsepower division. Have you ever done anything with a Vauxhall? There's a yard full of them less than a mile from us.
We never had those here.
Good night, Doug Norton.
Good night, Doug.
Hang on, let's talk to one another. I'm looking for questions. Okay. Able Z, what's the most expensive tool you've bought?
It would be back in my regular mechanic days, scanners and I just God, I can't recall exactly, but it was back in the 80s, or I should say the 90s, just upgrading stuff.
Thank you, Big Bear. Tell everybody to hit the like button. That helps us. Let's see. Patrick Moss wants to know, you want to work on my rotary? It's got a 4-valve.
Are you close?
As I haven't checked emails, and I'm really sorry. I'm gonna get to them. It's been really busy. Terry Brent says, thank you for operating the shop the way you are. That way if someone can't really afford it, that has the time, they can learn how to do it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
YouTube is our business, and the shop isn't a shop; it's a studio.
right.
So, like conceptually, everything has to be done conceptually. We had no intention of doing anything other than we picked up the shop specifically to do YouTube videos, not to do anything else, but specifically for YouTube. So that's how we make our money. And by you bringing cars for us to feature, you're helping us make money. So it's like, why do I want to take it out of your pocket when I'm taking it out of Google's pocket?
Were you planning on taking the Miata down the strip at all?
No, absolutely not. I do not want a quarter-mile number or eighth-mile number on that car, because if I get a performance number on that car, then I'm going to obsess because I have problems. So if I get a number on that car, an acceleration number on that car, then I'm going to obsess over that, and it'll be to the exclusion of everything else. So no, it will never see a drag strip or a G-Tech. A lot of my cars never will, because I like the Daily Driver or just any number of my cars will never get a performance number, because then I'll obsess over that number, and then I have no choice but to start tweaking things to make it go quicker. And so that's why I stay away from certain cars. Will never get a timer.
Yes, Jason T. The way to support UCG is with views, likes, and buying merch.
Yeah.
Comments.
Yeah, the comments.
Yeah, everything that drives the algorithms
Yep.
up and pushes videos out. Yep, all that stuff. Hunter, will a set of points with a flamethrower coil will hold up well on a demolition derby car?
I don't see why not. Yeah. I mean, there's less chance of damaging the points than there is of,
You read that one? I'll give you some more. Give me a glass.
What timing set do you recommend for the slant sticks? I got the cloys and the cam gear is slotted. I can't tell you where to put the cam. I can't tell you whether to advance it, put it straight up, or retard it. There's no way for me to know what the setup is, what the cam is, how it's ground, how it's intended to be run. I don't know. You call the cam grinder and ask them how it's intended to be run. I gotta do this myself because she just left. Okay. Show the person. So you're going to put a Dodge Triangle logo on the Miata. It's not a triangle logo. It actually has a name. It's called the Fratzog. Fratzog. That's the name of the Dodge Triangle. How did I get a hold of the Miata? Auto parts store that I was hitting over on here in Murfreesboro. Shop across the street from me had this thing sitting in the parking lot. I just wanted to get rid of it. So I said, okay, I'll take it. $200. Sold. Okay. What is your favorite Alpine Dodge? Oh, thank you. Uncle Kathy, Ultra Kathy brought me water, cool, refreshing water.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
When are you going to see Clancy hit the strip?
Right after Bottle Rocket.
Yep.
One car at a time, right after Bottle Rocket. So Bottle Rocket's going out this weekend, and then the follow. Plan Z would have gone to the track.
Yeah, it's all right.
Plan Z would have gone to the track 3 weeks ago, but we got rained. And then we had all of these other events and things and whatnot that we had to handle. So, yeah, it would have gone to the track before Bottle Rocket, but now it's going to go after.
It's water, guys. It's not vodka, it's water.
And honestly, the reason we haven't screwed around with the cars out where we are now is because we have neighbors across the street, and I haven't broken them in yet.
You don't want to break the cars.
You don't want to break the cars before you get into the track.
The main reason is not to break anything before you get to.
But I also don't want to piss off neighbors that we haven't met yet and haven't, they live literally like directly in front of the shop across the street.
No, it's not vodka. Little Rocket is a street race. There's no street races that really go on.
Yeah, if there was anything local, we would be out there, but there's nothing going on locally.
Oh, yeah. Right, Uncle Tony hasn't walked up to them with a cake yet, the neighbors. So you haven't met the neighbors? There's two of them,
There's two houses directly across. They both have kids.
and you haven't met them?
I see kids coming and going. No, I haven't met them yet.
You should introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Maddox says, put a Princess Star fender emblem on the Miata.
Possibly. Yeah, actually, that would be pretty cool. Put on the passenger side, lower quarter, or lower front fender, like they did on the. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Do we have any of those Princess Star emblems?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What if the neighbors watch UTG? I don't know.
It's possible. You'd be surprised some of the people. We get like I'll be stopping. I'll be in a gas station or sitting in traffic or whatever. You would be amazed at the variety of people that watch our show. And like you would look at them and say, "No, that looks like a normal person." You know, that looks like a regular guy. You know, gee, what a nice looking lady. You know, and like UT, right? You know, it's like, holy shit, how do you know me?
We live in a bubble. We don't even realize.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Like the people that came to the meet and greet were really nice.
Yeah.
Will I ever do a build? I don't think so. It depends.
It just depends.
GTS?
We're gonna find.
Okay. All right. No, you said no more cars today. Let's see.
No, we're gonna add because I really want that body in my world.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
sure you do. I'm working on interiors.
She is. Yeah.
I'm working on interiors. So I'm gonna probably do the charger next because I have the carpet for that. I'm dreading it because to take the charger apart, the interior is like 2,000 pieces. So I've been avoiding it. Let's see. Anthony Perna, do you think you have a mixture screw?
For WCFB, I don't think so. How different is the mixture screw? I didn't see any WCFB stuff in there. There's lots of AFB and whatnot, but I didn't see any WCFBs. Is there a difference between the AFB and the WCFB as far as the mixture control screws? I don't know.
If I ever run into Uncle Tony, I'm gonna go national treasure like a nut job. Funny, Jason.
Yesterday, I was on I was on one of the streets around one of the major thoroughfares around here, and a white Miata was driving past. I was in the GT, and a white Miata was driving past, and it was driving past. He had a big thumbs up, and I was like, look, it's like, and he definitely did not look like one of our regular viewers, but you know, it's like,
What do you mean? Is he was in a Miata?
he didn't look like somebody who would be watching our channel.
What does somebody that watch my channel look like?
Well, you expect them that they would look like they would
No,
kind of
they're
look
not
like
gonna
me.
look like you. You're crazy. Tell me when you come up with this stuff. Let's see. Jesse Smith, have you ever thought about getting in on the Cletus and Cars action, burnout car or something?
I kind of thought about that, you know, but it's like
Burnout car would be fun.
a burner car would be fun, but how many of our viewers would really attempt something like that? There's kind of a difference between there's like a conceptual difference, and I'm not knocking anybody, right? I'm just so take this for what it's worth and where it's coming from. There's a conceptual difference between a lot of the channels that are out there and popular and like what we do, and it's different.
Don't limit yourself.
I'm not limiting ourselves, but
I'd like to do burnout contest. I would do that.
we'll build something for it.
Okay.
We're not so much about making a spectacle as we are about
Oh no.
what? What spectacle do we make?
What?
What's
Nothing. No, there's no spectacle.
we're more about what happens in the shop than we are what happens out in the. Does that make any sense?
They want you to do it.
A lot of the popular channels are about the things that happen out there, okay? And we're more about the things that happen in here. You know, and that doesn't mean that we won't go out there, and that don't mean that they don't go in there, but it's just like the focus of the channel is more working, you know, learning.
Ray says, do it, Tony.
It's possible. I got a parts car. I've toyed around with it. In
I
fact,
have another Valiant.
I have another Valiant.
Someone gave you for free.
Yeah, I got it right. Exactly. It was a free '71 Valiant. It's sitting in the back of my old parts lot, right? And I originally was going to cut it up for parts to build the Gambler car, and I looked at it and I said, no, it's too complete. It wants to live somehow. So it's I haven't done anything with it. So yeah, I've toyed around with maybe putting a roots blown motor in it and doing that sort of thing. But it's just, I got so many other things I got to get done first. That if we do something like that, it's going to be way down the road.
Okay, Bruce W. Bottom Rock and Clancy, can you G-Tech them at the same time?
You're a drag racing to compare results and also give you more data. You know, that's actually not a bad idea.
They put weight in the car though. What? I'm just saying.
Okay, I like that idea, Bruce. I haven't used the G-Tech on any of the cars that we're actually trying to get performance numbers out of because there's no way I can explain it to you. I try to keep everything as open and as honest as possible, right? So if I put G-Tech stuff on there and it runs better than you expect, it's like, well, it's fudged or it's inaccurate, it's whatever. So that's why I haven't used the G-Tech in Bottle Rock or Plan Z or anything like that, because I want it to be an honest drag strip number that's that's beyond question or reproach. So that's why I haven't used it in that context. But what you're suggesting is taking it and actually running the car at the track with the G-Tech and comparing them. That's a brilliant idea, and we'll do that with Bottle Rocket this coming weekend. Excellent idea.
Lobo says, I want to be Uncle Tony's Cassie's neighbor. Someday I'm going to fly from Argentina to see you, buddies. We should go to Argentina.
I don't fly. I mean, you can go to Argentina. It would take us a month.
We should sense of adventure.
Who's going to watch the dogs?
They can come.
You want to put the dogs in the caravan and drive to Argentina?
Sure, I can do that. Tony doesn't like to leave the house.
I really don't. Well, I don't like to leave the shop. I don't like to leave my home base.
What brand of rasps do you use?
Whatever I get my hands on. I prefer older Craftsman stuff. I love the older Craftsman stuff. But I have a mixed bag. Just whatever I pick up. Yard sales, estate sales, you know, nothing. I don't have anything epic.
Rodney Harris wants to know, did you watch my video?
I did not.
Did you send an email? Because I haven't checked emails all week. Like, that's how busy we've been. I'm really sorry. I'm going to get to them all. Eventually. Free tools, yeah. There must be like this free tools. That's what handy like. Lizard rods. Do you think the 392 Hemi drilled out to 61 Pro will run really hot?
I couldn't give you an answer to that. You would think a 392 drill, you mean bored to 60,000? So a 392, a 60 over 392, will it run really hot? No, it shouldn't. All Chrysler engines from that era, from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, they're all designed for a 60,000th overbore. So for a maximum 60,000 overbore. So the cylinders are cast so that you can go a maximum of 60 over. And if you notice, let's say you buy a set of head gaskets sort of thing, you'll always notice that the firing is bigger than the stock bore. The firing on all of the gaskets that you buy for these things are automatically 60 over in case you're going to go that far. So no, you shouldn't have any problem at all with a 392.60.
Mexican Spec says you better stop by here on that trip. That would be fun, Tony. Gary, what is a good size to build a 2-car garage/workshop?
the biggest you can make it. I mean,
These
it's
are toast and treats. Keep her-
as big as you can make it. Whatever size you have, you will fill it. Okay. Trenton Newkirk. I have an 85 Dodge D100 Slant 6 that has some white smoke. Oh, I'm supposed to do this. See, Kathy does this. Okay. 85 Dodge D100 Slant 6 that has some white smoke out the exhaust, but it doesn't lose any coolant. Then it's just condensation. It's just that, I mean, or it could be oil. I mean, oil is a blue smoke, but kind of whitish. It might just be some oil. Let's see. Okay. Dale Davies, what is the plan for the Miata 170 engine? You could put a 198 crank in with counterweight surgery, build a 210, and crankcase currents. Yes, I know. NASCAR take out 6.3 connecting rods and somewhat custom show. Okay, the Miata motor is two phases. The one that's going in there now, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put the Super 6 intake manifold on it, and that's it. Mostly because I want to get the car together and running, and I want to sort it out. I want to get the handling, or figure out what I got to do with springs and all the other stuff, which I know nothing about, which I have to learn all this stuff. So I don't want to screw around with the motor. I just want to plug it, get it running, plug it in, and send it. After we have the car running and it's basically dialed in, basically sorted out, then I'm going to build a 170, and I have to explore all my options. I don't think I'd be looking to stroke it though. There's things that I want to try with the motor, but it won't be. It's not. There's no sense in talking about it right now because it won't be until next year at the earliest before we actually build a motor for that car. Right now, I just want to get it together, get it running, and start getting it sorted out. Hey, Colleen. Yes, better late than never. Let's see. Then, why did Chrysler pull the plug on the first generation Hemi, Red Ram, and V8 in the late 50s? Well, the cost of building them was an expensive motor to produce. And heavy. Let's see. You guys are my cats. Let's see. Petition. How do you pronounce that? Where we'd be autocrossing at? I have no idea. They have several events locally here in the Nashville area. And when I say the Nashville area, I mean like a 100-mile radius of where I am right now. There's lots of stuff that goes on, but I couldn't tell you what event, where. I'm just concerned on building the car right now. And then finding somebody who actually knows autocrossing, to point me in the right direction. And once we get the car actually running. So I don't know yet. Joel Jenkins, are you going to race the Slant 6 Dart? Yeah, absolutely. We're taking our Bottle Rocket this coming weekend, and then the next time we go to the track, it'll be with the Slant Dart, with the Plan Z Dart. Joel Brennan, how is the Perfect Daily Driver doing? It's the Perfect Daily Driver. She drives it every day. Well, sorry, it's got a dent in the front fender now. Not a big dent, but enough that I can see it. Somebody must have knocked it in a parking lot or whatever. But yeah, it's the front fender's got a little bit of a thing in it now. But other than that, no, it runs great. Joe K race the carry van. See, that's what I'm saying. Like if I take the carry van out and I get a number on it, then all of a sudden I'm going to be obsessed with the performance aspect of my freaking carry van, and I will lose perspective of sight of everything else that I use it for. So no, I will never take the carry van to the track. I will never get a number on it because then I'll start obsessing on making the carry van faster. I don't want to do that. I love that. It's my favorite vehicle out of everything we own. I love the carry van. Tennessee seems to be the automotive capital of the United States. We are fast. We are rapidly overtaking California as far as that goes. We have so much stuff going on here. Because I mean, so you think about it, you got Holly 100 miles up the road at Bowling Green, right? And they own like everything. And then you got Edelbrock and ComCam's just combined, and they're 150 miles the other way in Memphis. You know, and so they've got everything that Holly doesn't have. We have tracks and all sorts of things going on here in Tennessee that, yeah, we actually are rapidly becoming the automotive capital of the United States. No question about it. Let's see. Cameron Cummington, Tony, what size carb do you think is appropriate for a Jeep 4-liter that's been stroked and has a mild cam? My rule of thumb for everything, right, is to double the cubic inch, and that's your optimum starting point. And if you're you know on the fence about running a carburetor that big, so I mean I don't know what it's stroked to. I don't know what your actual cubic inch is, but double the cubic inch, you're probably going to be in the 600 650 range. I would just use a vacuum secondary, throw a vacuum secondary carb in that 600 to 700 CFM range, and send it.
I was looking for him. You all caught up?
I think so.
What's less than you read?
Oh God, that one.
Oh, thanks, Tony. You did a good job.
I did it. I did it myself.
Nice.
Oh, Dakota was just asking a question.
Dakota?
Yeah, something about a 6-inch connecting rod.
Where?
Right there. Tony, have you ever heard of people using a 6-inch rod for a small block Chevy? My dad bought a set for a great price at a swap meet. I think the pistons you got to are like $500 new. Wonder if it's worth it. Yeah, well, I mean the stock connecting rod is 5.7 inches long. 6-inch rod is 300 thousandths longer. The small block Chevy can always, I don't want to say can always use a long rod. The small block Chevy, that's the big difference between a small block Mopar and a small block Chevy. Okay, it's really rod length, and that's where the advantage the small block the Mopar has over the Chevy. To a certain point, rod length is very good, and we're talking about for a street strip type of motor, not a high RPM motor, a consistent high RPM motor where a long rod is always good, but for a street strip performance thing, a moderately long connecting rod is best. And the big advantage that the Mopar has over the Chevy, the small blocks, is a connecting rod. Whereas you're 400 thousandths longer on a small block Mopar than the Chevy. So to go to a 6-inch rod actually kind of like levels the playing field between the Chevy and the Mopar. The Mopar still has a superior exhaust port, but going to that 6-inch rod kind of like balances things out and puts the small block Chevy right there where the Mopar is. But yeah, it's a great idea.
Jonathan Pope. Thanks for suggesting to put a carb on my 460 my F250 OBD1. EFI really limited me, and I hate being stuck into aftermarket EFI. Carb is much better and easier personal learning.
Excellent. I'm glad you had good results.
Because you always give people bad advice.
Well, yeah, it's because I try to foul them up because I'm evil.
Right. Dale Davies, for information on sorting handling, the book How to Make Your Car Handle by Fred H. Poon has a lot of information, including formulas, calculate spring rates front/rear so it does not wobble.
Okay, would that book pertain to like, like an actual true sports car, like a Miata? Because I don't know, I'm just asking. I mean, or is that more like how to make a regular passenger car handle better? Because it's apples and oranges, it's two different things.
Vicky Farley, doing hoodies and coats and stuff? No, not right now.
No?
No. Once the fall
In the
comes,
fall. You ass a bee. Good evening, Tony. Would you be willing to swap a Ford 400 into my 78 Bronco? I like those. Would love to have work done by you. Yeah, it's a Ford. No, I will not do that. But if you're local, if you're in the general Nashville area, and you want to come to my shop and do the swap, and we'll assist you and video it and everything else, then absolutely yes. But I don't take on work as a regular shop would. Our shop is not a shop; it's a studio to do YouTube videos. So if you want to do the work on it and you want us to help you with it, like we're doing with Andy with the Hemi GTX, then by all means, we'll talk about it. Sure.
thank you, Need Metal. Have you ever considered exhaust heat when positioning the slant in the Miata hot feet?
No, the exhaust actually runs through the same exact opening that the original exhaust on the Miata motor did. If you take the stock Slant 6 head pipe, right, and just stick it right in there, it goes exactly right through the opening, and it mates up with the original Mazda exhaust system.
Here's a good question.
If you were a zip tie, where would you like to be in a Mopar? I don't use zip.
If you were a zip tie.
Oh. The only place I ever use zip ties where they stay, right? Because I'll use zip ties to hold things out of the way, and I'll make spark plug wire separators out of them. But the only place I've ever used a zip tie where it'll stay, I use zip ties all the time to hold something up while I do this or I do that, but then I cut the zip tie out after I make a proper connection or a proper routing of something. But the only place I use them where they stay is on the the driver's side inner fender. There's a little indent that the wiring harness goes through, and they have the stock have these plastic clips, and I'll throw a zip tie through there and pull it, and it works actually better than the original plastic clips do. But that's the only place I use zip ties. What happened to the red Starion your friend was putting that in? That's the Hemi Tsubishi. He hasn't touched it. He's been slammed with his own work. I told the story a couple of times. He's busy.
He had knee replacement surgery.
He had knee replacement surgery. He's got. This is how busy he is, right? And why I can't put any blame. I can't fault him for not working on this Starion.
Well, you're not working on the motor either.
Yeah, because we'll get together, right? He bought a new shop. He has a new building. He's too busy to stop and move to the new shop. So he's all jammed into this little, hovel with these cars on lifts and everything else. And he's not at a point where he can stop and actually move to the bigger shop. So I can't fault him for not working on the Starion. But we will get back together on that.
Having decking the engine block and cylinder heads affect the push rod length on a non-adjustable valve train.
Well, you just answered your own question. If you cut 30 thousandths off the deck, you're essentially adding 30 thousandths length to the push rod.
So that's the way it affects it.
That's how it affects it.
Car sit. Doesn't carb size relate to use smaller carb, higher air velocity, better around time response?
Depends on there's so many different types of carburetors. It depends on the primary size, the primary barrels. I mean, what you're saying, yes, but it's such a general thing. You have to get into the specifics of the engine, specifics of the carburetor, the type of carburetor. So you're right and you're wrong at the same time.
Would you recommend a Petronics ignition system to replace the points in my 54 Bel Air 235, or do you prefer something else?
I prefer points. I've done many videos on point ignitions and you know, we've talked about a lot of the myths of electronic ignition compared to points. So if you ask me, it would have points. If it was my car, it would have points. For you, if you don't want to be bothered servicing the points, and I can understand that. I can understand it. Then the Petronics is a simple and proven way to get the job done. So I would say the Petronics over any other option that's out there. But if it was my car, and I don't mean to say that you should do what I do, but if it was my car, it would just have the points.
What happened to the boo-boo on your arm? What'd you do?
This was I had
The other one, the new one.
oh
That one.
I don't know, just
You did that.
yeah.
You didn't raise the Sun 6?
Yes, we just answered that question.
You did?
After Bottle Rocket this weekend, and then the following weekend the Sun 6 goes up.
Okay. Is it never going to sound like Lindsay when you do the next phase of the build?
No, because it's going to have a totally different type of exhaust. No, I'm shooting for a Jaguar type of sound out of it. Is what I'm shooting for.
Let's see. Dickie Farley, we need to do a giveaway like we used to.
We used to have so much fun.
Get some cheese in the mail for answering the question right. We haven't done it in a
We used to
while.
have so much fun with that.
I
Well,
know.
we got to get back to that. There's a lot of things we used to do that we don't do anymore. We really need to get back to.
Where's the next drag ship outing?
This coming Saturday, Jake's Dragway in Alabama.
Jonathan Pope. I got an old 950 Holly car taken on my 464. It seemed to actually perform noticeably better. Why do you think that could be? Anything I should be checking or live with it?
It's the right size carburetor for that 460 Ford. Forget about what the formulas say, right? The formulas mean nothing, right? That's double the cubic inch. Like I said, my rule of thumb is always just double the cubic inch, and that's your optimum carburation size. So, and there's no science. Okay, maybe there is science, but I don't know what it is. But that's the rule of thumb that I've just always gone by, and it's always served me well, right? Your starting point is twice the cubic inches. So your 464, that's 920 cubic inches, right? That's a big hunk. You stuck a 950 Holly on it, and guess what? It runs better. Yeah, I know. You're doing good. And those are great. Those 950s are great carburetors.
That's good. Can you still get unit points? The ones without the condenser wire.
Unisec. Yeah, I believe so. Sure.
Okay, they're talking to each other. Hang on. Did Dodge need to change rockers on the Magnum 318?
Yes, they use the rockers are actually AMC rockers. They're from the rockers they use on the Magnum are the same ones that you would find on, let's say, a 290, a 304, a 360, 401 AMC motor.
Bloody the Sweat Switch says,
Ah,
one time when I was a kid, I got shocked by a points car by touching the middle bumper.
no, probably just static electricity.
If you were a chicken, how many burnouts would you do a day?
4.
Patrick says, have you ever worked on jazz?
No, but it's if like God, I love those guys.
Yeah, didn't I?
Yeah,
I would get one.
yeah. No, I've never worked on one. Or have I? I may have worked on one in the
You did work
distant.
on one.
I did. I think I did
In
too.
New York, right? I think you did.
It was a green E type.
I don't remember, but I think you did work on one.
Yeah, she's right. I had one in the shop for a little while back when we were in New York, but for the life of me, I don't remember what I did to it or who owned it or why it was there.
I need miles from Jake's driveway? No,
Probably not.
no. We don't have that kind of Wi-Fi.
It's besides the point. I don't want to.
No, because, yeah, doing a live
Yeah.
would just be very distracting. Just gonna film it.
I just want to go there and go. I just want to go race my car.
I know. The cheese is now a family heirloom and part of urban legend. Nice. What part of Brooklyn did you reside in?
Bensonhurst, but we moved out of there to Staten Island when I was 8.
Same question, same. Tony, did you see the hardcore show from last weekend in Tompkin Park? It was beautiful. No. No. We don't get to actually watch very much, except Top Gear and Grand Tour.
Yeah, like I watch that just as I'm, you know, that's like I'm getting ready to go to sleep, so I'll watch some, like, you know.
Zero Fox given. What do you think about the 90s Magnum motors and modern one?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like such an obvious question, but yeah, they're great motors and they're easy to work with. They're cheap, easy ways to make power. There's no downside to those engines.
Who was your New York drag strip favorite announcer?
Oh, Berserko was always my favorite.
Is it worth finding OEM hydraulic shocks for a smooth riding street car?
I don't think you have to go to that extent. I think any quality shock absorber is a quality aftermarket shock is going to give you the same basic results.
Barking Good wants to know, have you ever changed a condenser and asked someone to hold it?
No, I've never thrown anybody a charged condenser, ever.
You went to some. Muscle City Madness says, did you ever think you'd love to see electric cars that can drive themselves? I know is never one. Wait, hang on, jumped on me. Dang it, sorry. I know is never.
What?
I'll never
What the
own one, but the tech is pretty thing.
It's cool and it's not.
I want a car driving me.
Case in point, last week in California, I think it was a Tesla that didn't even have the self-driving mode enabled because they turn it on and off. That's the great thing about these new cars, right? You order an option that is already built into the car and they turn it on. Why don't you just reach over and grab it? You don't have to make it. This is YouTube. You don't have to make a big thing. So this thing didn't even have the self-driving mode enabled, okay? But so this happened just this last week. So there was a guy sitting in the passenger seat, somebody sitting in the back seat, nobody in the driver's seat. This thing took off on its own. It crashed into a tree, I think, burst into flames, killed both of these fucking people that were inside of it. And then it took 32,000 gallons of water to put it out, right? Yeah, there are bugs that need to be worked out of this whole thing. And I don't think it's possible to work those bugs out in our lifetimes. So, see where it goes.
Bill Davies. I mentioned your Miata project to a friend who poops bow ties. Boy, did he have attitude. Doing something different makes no sense to him. He thinks the slant did not make power warmed up.
Well, he's probably out of sorts because he's pooping bow ties. I mean, I can't imagine that's very pleasant. Has he seen a specialist? Prayers for your friend.
Dakota, do you think a Scrubmore Holly would perform any better
Yes.
than a low quadrant jet? You didn't even let me finish reading.
I mean, just yes. Yes, a Scrubmore Holly will. I don't have to read the rest of the question.
All right,
Yes.
Tony knows everything. Can you give us a sneak peek of what videos are coming up this week? We you doing the Fury carburetor?
Yeah, I'm waiting for. He had a problem with the timing chain or something. Austin did, so he texted me yesterday or the day before. I don't know, so one day to me, right? He texted me and said that he's got to pop the front of the motor off. He's got a timing chain problem with it, so he may show up tomorrow, the next day. I don't know, Austin. If you're watching this, let me know when you're ready to go. So, but that's pretty much a sneak peek. That's one thing we got planned.
Hello, Tony. I have an R12 AC system.
Is it worth converting to R134? Just put the 134 in it, give it a shot at ester oil, and put the 134 in it and drive, and don't worry about it. It works fine.
Let's cadaver. Ever wonder why vehicles don't use a standard sizing for windshield washer fluid reservoirs? My car holds 1 2/3 bottles.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I know. Drives me out of my mind.
Thank you, Big Bear. Saying hit the like button, everybody. Thank you. He's like our biggest promoter, Big Bear.
He's awesome. I know.
He's awesome.
We have a lot of awesome people.
I know. We appreciate you guys so much. Any plans to get Lamb Chop back in Bottle Rocket?
No.
No. I'm talking about the guy that poops those eyes.
He really does need to see a specialist. That's not something you want to screw around with. Baby.
Yeah.
Give me a light over.
There you go.
Thanks.
Justin wants to know, hey, UTG would be up to doing something with a 68 Impala that I recently bought.
Are you local?
Yeah, you gotta be local. Joe Brennan says this is the greatest community ever.
It is, right?
We have like the best viewers.
I look forward to these Sunday night things. So I really do.
Great. Wait, what?
What?
I was reading something, I was like, what? Jake Braun, what do you think of the 4 variable? No, he's saying he's just shaking his head no. I don't even have to finish the question. Okay, they say they're in North Carolina.
Yeah, you'd have to bring the car here. You'd have to have a plan, and you'd have to bring the car here and be ready to see it through.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trip. Tony made a video on how to distill your own blinker fluid. Did you?
No, I didn't. But let's say
Something
we did. Let's say we did. Let's not say we did.
Seriously amazing community. We should make a show somewhere sometime. It would be awesome. You should.
But we do that here. It's Sunday night.
Knit Made Muscle says small block Chevy is one of the most
Endurance.
tested engines on the planet. Not too many other V8s can turn 9,000 RPM for hundreds of miles.
Not too many small block Chevys can do that either.
Yeah, John Wilburn's on the road right now. Yep. Driving. He's got a lot of driving to do.
Yeah.
Oh, he says he needs a car meet. He wants to do a car meet.
Oh. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do another one. We're talking about that yesterday. Yeah, we're gonna try to make it a regular thing, like maybe a monthly thing. Uncle Tony's Cars and Meat. Because I got Cars and Coffee. We'll do Cars and Meat.
Ton of Wendy English. Keep talking about the shop. The white Wendy will be having us bring the Valiant down. At this rate, any hotels close by?
We got tons of
Ton of
hotels.
hotels.
Yeah.
We live in an actually pretty large.
Yeah, this is actually a bigger city than you think it
There's a lot of
is.
traffic. You guys have no idea.
Yeah, lots of motel rooms.
Yeah, we don't live in the boonies. Not that the boonies is bad, because I would go there, but it's pretty crowded here. Any,
What Chrysler's idea was to go to the pedestal rocker on the Magnum? Oh, you mean the bolt stud arrangement? I never really thought about it. There are reasons, but for the life of me, it's escaping me. Give me a second now. Why did they do that? It had to have something to do with moving ports around. You know what? It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
urban more classes. Hey, I'm 18 and I've been in cars for a while. Can't afford more car right now, but I know it's used to have a number of months.
That's awesome, man. It's not junk. It's your car. It's Camaro. It's fine, man. Nothing junk about it. You know, you got to start somewhere. That's where you start. And there are lots of cheap Mopar options out there. You just need to not try to go after the stuff that everybody, you forget about a Roadrunner, it ain't gonna happen, right? Forget about a 68 to 70 B-body, it ain't gonna happen. But there's lots of like less desirable cars out there that you can have for really cheap and get that whole Mopar experience.
Queen Dee speed shop. What's up?
What's happening, sweetheart?
We wish you could be there for a Sunday night meet with you. That would be really cool.
Anytime you guys want to come to Tennessee, our house is your house. Just come on over.
That would be cool. It sucks that everybody lives so far away.
I know.
It really does. Hang on, I'm looking. Might be. You should do a 5-liter spec the way you guys used to.
But we did it. We did it 35 years ago. I don't want to do stuff that I did 35 years ago. I want to do stuff that I'm doing now, like stick a freaking Slant 6 into a Miata.
I think doing the Mustang was easier than carving up a Miata,
Yeah.
right? Danny, my windshield wiper motor in my 72 Demon is not flush with my firewall. It has rubber spacers. Is that normal?
Yes.
UTG, the More Pro Bible T-shirt.
Nah, it is.
Tony has to approve all the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Once you're done, you gonna go watch DG Bid from today? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that.
Queen Meeting says, careful what you wish for. As soon as this border opens, we're there. Maybe you can give Dan a more intervention.
I'm serious. I would love to have you guys. Anytime you want to come, just come on down. You don't have to, just come knock on the door. Just, you're in.
Justin, what's your opinion on the 75 to 77 Chrysler B-body? I've had a lot of Mopar guys talk about how bad they are, but I have 4 of them, and I gotta say, I think they're wicked.
They're exactly the same as the 73, 74 Roadrunners. You know, that line. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're great cars. They're great cars. They're heavier than the earlier B-bodies, the 72 and earlier B-bodies, because of the isolated K-frame and all of that. But they're fine cars, man. They drive great.
Walt wants to know, whereabouts are you in Tennessee? I'm outside of Memphis. I'll come by sometime.
We're in Murfreesboro, just south of Nashville.
Middle Tennessee. Let's see. Russell City Man says, shove a Sun 6 into a Carmen Kia. Rihanna, let's do more of this.
I've been thinking about that. Honestly, I've been thinking about that.
We just have the sports cars now. Is that what we're gonna do? Could you imagine? It's gonna end up doing all these sports cars.
Well, I'll tell you what. I would never do it to a Carmen Ghia because they're not around. They're not common. You know what I mean? Like to me, Carmen Ghia is something that should be like, you know, restored or modified tastefully, error correct, that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't desecrate a Carmen Ghia. In fact, there's a yellow one down the block from my kid's house that I pass every time we go there, and I'm like, oh God, it's such a beautiful car. No, I wouldn't do it to Tacoma again, but I'm having so much fun with the Miata that I've been looking at other things, like late model stuff that we can throw, some early drivetrain shit into, and that's all part of our, what was that now?
What?
The Amish Speed Society.
Amish Speed Society.
Yeah, the Amish Speed Society. We would take like late model cars and detech them completely and throw like primitive like big blocks with points and carburetors and all this other shit. I think that could catch on.
You think?
I think so.
Joel Cut says, fight corporate greed, join the AHRA. They got great shirts and bulletproof.
Absolutely. AHRAonline.com. Dallas. Yeah.
Clinton 318 Magnums still have Fed rocker shafts mounted through push rods?
No.
No.
The 318 Magnum's oil through the push rods.
Jonathan Pope, my dad has a 76 Volare with a slant 6 and a 4-speed, and he hates it, but I used it all through high school. Uncle Tony, can I make that into an ultimate sleeper? Man, that's an ultimate driver. That's like, I wouldn't, man, if that car's intact and it's complete, there is nothing better as a daily driver than that car, just exactly the way it is. Maybe throw a Super 6 on it if it's a single barrel, but yeah, man, that was great. Don't carve that car up. Your buddy's idea for a Buick 215 Miata is a great idea.
It is. The 215 would be an ideal motor to throw in one, just not one of mine. You know what I'm saying? If Dallas wanted to pick up a Miata, I in a heartbeat, I'd drop by what I was doing and go help him stick that motor in there.
Merwin Man, any chance of new apparel coming out? I would love to have a Project Bottle Rocket t-shirt.
God, we were just talking about that.
I think they have asked you about it like all week because I went to work on design. And he's like, nobody wants that.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, Tony, just give them what they want. If they want a Bottle Rocket t-shirt, let them have a Bottle Rocket
I don't want to do
t-shirt.
that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Well, then you have to say what?
I'm all about promoting the channel, but I really don't want to promote individual projects, individual cars.
You have a strange mind.
I have a very strange mind, but it's a super mind.
Right? I'm gonna work on it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. UTG, the Amish Speed Shop.
The Amish Speed Society. I'm telling you, I think that would get you talking about, okay, Bottle Rocket t-shirts. How about an ass t-shirt? Amish Speed Society.
Nobody wants to wear an ass t-shirt.
How many of you guys would wear an ass t-shirt?
Slant the World. See, is that an okay t-shirt?
That's a good, yeah, that's a good shirt.
All right, we're my allowed to make that one.
Yes, if enough people want it.
All right. Good night, Dakota. Redford, can you make Amish Speed Society merch? I'd love to put stickers on all my feet.
Yep.
All parts.
See, I'm telling you, I think that could be the thing. I think that could be the next big thing, right? De-teching these modern cars and throwing some old school drivetrains on them.
DD Speed Shop, my buddy's UTG Banana Annex.
That's advanced thinking.
It is.
That is truly advanced thinking.
We need to open up a Amish Speed Shop.
Right? I'm telling you, I think we're onto something with this whole, with the slant six going to the Miata. I think we're onto something. I think we can actually start a movement.
Funny. Bryce says, we need an ass t-shirt now.
There's some merch for you.
Burnout chicken merch. Olive wants burnout chicken merch. What
What
was
is-
it? The burnout, what was it? Super stuck chicken something? What was it? They came up with, I can't remember what it was. Zero would know. 10 grip up. If UTG moves in next to you, your grass will die.
That is true. That is true.
Jupiter Mustang Mike says, I'm restoring an Amish tricycle on YouTube. I'm kind of Dutch.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Are you from there? Because there's so much cool shit in that area. There's the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, Strasbourg, and all of that. That's the only reason I look forward to going back up to, like, Maple Grove or anything, is just to stop in that general area.
Oh, Wood Metal Garage says, I received a compliment on my Gearhead Monk shirt at Summit Racing the other day. Pretty cool.
Excellent. Excellent. Representing.
Thank you, Wood Metal Garage. Mike B says, all due respect, why Miata?
Why not? I wanted a sports car.
And it was there.
It was cheap,
That's what happens.
and I wanted a sports car. I looked at it and said, I want this. Like, I really want this, because I've always had a bug for older British sports cars, like, MGs and stuff like that. But, they're just too much of a hassle. They're expensive. They're hard to find. They're hard to, there's always needing something. You think Mopars are bad. So I stayed away from them. But when I saw the Miata, I was like, ooh, I could do stuff like this with this. And originally I was just going to get it running with the drivetrain that was in there, but it just doesn't fit me. It doesn't fit my head. And so I said, and it's just like, a couple of viewers said, put a Slant 6 in it. And you know what? I said, click. I went, boom. Yes, that's the perfect thing. I want to see what a 170 can do. And a 170 really does not belong in a drag car. It was never intended to be in a drag car. The 170 was intended for a touring type car, like a British, right, type of thing, right, a European type of thing. So by putting the 170 Slant 6 in a Miata, a sports car, I'm actually fulfilling the vision of the people who designed the engine to begin with. It's a perfect match.
Jupiter Mustang Mike says his mom's side is from Slating.
Okay.
Garden Revelation says late model cars for Luddites like me, definitely a market for animal tech.
Isn't it great how us Luddites end up on YouTube, right?
Well, there's no more paper magazines to do this with. So it's really the only choice. Pennsylvania's cool. Should have picked a Cricket. Oh, those are hard to get parts from.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk. Crickets.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah,
They're
there's
gone.
nothing out there.
Same thing with those early Colts. I love those cars. I thought they were great.
Here, Kyle Wagner says 440 and a Jaguar XJS.
Ooh.
Is that the next project, Sonny?
Ooh. I don't know if 440. I think a small block.
340?
Yeah, I'm thinking, all right. I don't want to think about this stuff right now, but please let's not talk about that now, because I don't want to get all right. Ooh.
Vince says I was worried when I saw the Miata on the channel. Huge redemption. Thanks, Vince.
Did you doubt me? Come on.
Well, you said you were going to leave it stop.
I know, but you should know better than to like, right. Don't listen to anything I say. Just watch what I do.
So 340 and a Jaguar.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
I think that's a yes.
Okay, here's, all right. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay, so I have a friend that I made recently. Okay, how do I say this without? Okay, so this is how vague I'll be. Okay, so I have a friend that I made recently, and we have a lot in common. And he has a position in a place that is able to do a lot of things that normal people are not able to do, meaning like guys like us, you, me, right? So I texted him the other day and I made a suggestion, an idea for something, okay? And he didn't text me back. And this has to do with Slant 6s. And he didn't text me back. which tells me that it's something that he's already working on. Does that make any sense? Okay, so there may be something very trick coming out in the foreseeable future that would be directly affect the Slant Six in a major revolutionary way. And if that does come to pass, I will get one, probably the first one, and it will go in a Jag.
Okay. That was very vague.
I hope I was vague enough so that I didn't give anything away.
I don't think so. It's not safe for thinking.
You know who I'm talking about?
I might.
You do.
I might.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You don't know what the thing is. I've
No,
only
I
talked
don't know
about it
what
with
the
you.
thing is, no. Windmill Garage, thank you.
Thank you.
Supporting the Chicken Ranch revolution.
Chicken Walker Ranch.
What was the name of the shirt for the chicken burnout? Chicken Super Stock Class something? I don't remember what it was.
No, not a new Hyperpack manifold. Nothing that
Ari says, well, shit. Tony,
simple or obvious. If this thing happens, if the basic idea happens, I'll tell you this. If you're building any performance Slant Six,
Don't say anything too much.
oh, I could say this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive. If what I suggested and didn't get a response back from, which means that he's already on it, okay? If this happens and you're building a performance Slant Six, this will be a must-have item. Like, you can't not have this item. It'll revolutionize the Slant Six.
Brian M says, Uncle Tony's giving me a new appreciation for this Slant Six.
I'm glad I did that.
Amethyst Deceiver says, no, anything but a Jag. Keep Jag's Jag.
Right, I know. I would feel really, yeah, I know. But come on. Yeah, it could be cool.
Let's see. Google sucks. Never gave you a head.
Oh, it's a part. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
They're guessing. They're guessing.
Slant Six in a 60s and a 70s MG.
Did you guys get the 170 surging fix on the homegrown build?
It was surging?
The homegrown build, the Blue Valiant that you did with the guys.
Oh yeah, it hummed out of here.
Imports still suck. Oh, saying Cam.
No, it's something that's never been done before. It's never been available.
Ari, where did Ari go? Hang on, Ari. It's jumping around. It's going fast. Everybody's guessing what it is.
Measured some significant wear and go right to 60. Take full advantage of it. It's like the motor is bore challenge, so if you've got to go machining and you've got to go for pistons, just go right to 60, Ari.
Jonathan Pope, how are the 361 motors?
Great cruiser motors, but not very good for anything else.
Terry Burns, is the 170 capable of higher RPMs than the other two displays
Yes.
of Slant Six?
Yeah, so
what
what
RPM can safely go to?
the story is, now I can't tell you if it's going to make any power up there. And don't take my word for this. You can actually go and read some of the engineers' notes or engineers' opinions who actually designed the motor. But the 170s, they had those things running on the dynos at 7,000 RPM for like hours on end. And they just kept going and going and going. And the reputation for being bulletproof, right, actually belongs to the 170, not so much the 225. The 225 has some frailties. The 170 is the engine that the designers, one engineer who worked on the project, said that the 170 was the perfect engine. They designed this thing from clean slate of paper around that 170 size. And when they were finished, this guy stepped back after they did all of the tests and the evaluations, the whole 10 yards. And this is one of the guys who designed it. And he says, the 170 is the perfect engine. So that's right from the guy who designed it, or one of the guys.
D&D wants to know what happens with the Charger you originally picked up Ultra Cappy in. Don't tell
Why? It was 35 years ago.
him. I know.
They were junk back then. I built a Hemi, and I wanted to put the Hemi. I was going to put the Hemi in the Charger, so I went and got a Dana because of force. I had converted the car to 4-speed. I put a Dana in it, put the 4-speed, got the Hemi K-frame, had the motor almost about done, and then I looked at the car and I says, "No, this thing is just way too heavy." So I took all of that stuff out and I scrapped the Charger body and I put all of that stuff in a '68 Roadrunner, which was about 400 pounds lighter, and that's it. Car went to the scrapyard.
It didn't have to have this truck.
We had no place to put it.
No. It was in bad shape.
We lived in a studio apartment at the time. There was no place to put this thing. I had room for one hot rod, and that was it.
It was sad. If you could pick a car to teach someone on, what would it be?
Any a teaching car where you just want to learn the basics. A teaching car would be any 1960s economy / family style mid-sized type car. So all of your Falcon, Nova, Dart, Valiant, right? Rambler, any of those cars, or your mid-sized cars, Chevelles, anything in that common car range from the 1960s into the early 1970s is the perfect car to learn on. That's where you could figure all your basics with the least amount of complications and hassle working with those cars.
See, I'm thinking an aluminum block for the Slant 6, since you're talking about performance slants. I believe you said that's what the 170 was originally intended to have, but that's iron block.
Yeah, originally the Slant 6 project was supposed to be aluminum block. At the last minute, they went to cast iron, but they did have an aluminum block option for the 225, and they built approximately 60,000 of them, or 50,000 of them, 1960, 61, and 62. And there was no special markings on the car or anything like that. It was just an aluminum option. Block was iron. The problem with those, and the problem with dealing with them today, because they're still around, they pop up, is that it was a very thin steel liner in the cast aluminum block, and it had an open deck, and it used a stainless steel head gasket. So now picture this, right? You have a cast iron head, a stainless steel head gasket, an aluminum block, and a cast iron liner. You have three dissimilar metals, right, all together. With conventional antifreeze, as the antifreeze breaks down, as it ages, let's say it gets to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and it starts to break down chemically, it becomes acidic. And the acid reacted with those three metals and caused etching, right? Then this was a common problem, even let's say into the 1990s. Like the Ford V6s all had this problem where the stainless gasket would get etched out. But anyway, that was the problem with the Slant 6, with the aluminum Slant 6. The top of the deck would etch out as the antifreeze broke down from that electrolysis process. And so a lot of them that you find today have very flimsy deck surface. They're all like corroded and stuff like that. There's not a whole lot you can do with them. Plus they use a special head gasket which isn't available. You have to have a gasket actually made for it. So they're more hassle than they're worth working with. So the motor would be sticking out at both ends.
A slant or a slark.
Slant.
Slant. Jester, go edit your videos. Anyone know good for YouTube right now, but I cannot watch YouTube.
Go work on your stuff, man.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming, but go to work.
Cahill Smith, do you prefer press fit, wrist pins, or floating?
Prefer floating, but I mean, I'll work with whatever is the easiest.
When we get back to the engine, how to go for dummies, I need this video series.
Very soon, very soon.
Gorilla, what rear end to put in a 55 Chevy with a 350 small block?
I mean, what's the matter with the rear that was in there? Those Chevy, those early dropout Chevy center sections are pretty strong. I mean, if you can find the Oldsmobile or the Pontiac rear, that's a direct bolt in dropout center section, strong rear.
How do you go from a TBI to car with a Chevy C1500, 1990? Did I read that right?
Yeah.
I was got blurry for a second.
Purchase the appropriate intake manifold to work on that engine. 350 Chevy, I'm assuming, right? Purchase the appropriate carburetor intake manifold. Throw like a 750 vacuum secondary is probably just about perfect. And swap to a pre-1980 distributor, pre-1980 HEI distributor with the vacuum advanced canister on it, pre-CCC. And that's it. You know, of course, you have to do something with the electric fuel. You have to put a regular fuel pump in there, get the high pressure fuel injection pump out, and put a 5 to 8 psi pump to work with the carburetor in, and that's it. You're good to go.
0. I'm back. Did I win?
Of course, you won something,
Of course he
0.
won.
What did he win? Oh shit, we haven't. Oh God.
What? What do you win?
0, look at
Oh,
this.
you can't mail that.
What can I mail
That's
that?
Katie's.
Oh no, she won't miss this.
She will.
I already stole the red one.
Yes, she will. She knows it's there.
Oh shit, hang on,
Go
0. I
find
can't.
something else.
I can't.
Oh, wait, you know what? We have to send him a mug. He wants a mug.
You want a mug?
Yeah, we
He
have
doesn't
BCG
want. He
mugs.
doesn't want.
Yeah, of course he does.
Does he want a mug?
Yeah, what else can we send? What else we got?
That's so average. He doesn't want
Of
that.
course he does. Everyone wants one of our mugs.
Do we have anything in the freezer?
In the freezer? No, I'm not sending meat to California.
I'm looking, 0.
You looking?
I'm looking.
Everything is at the shop.
Yeah, all of this stuff, but he still needs to win
You
something.
can have my old camera lens. My broken camera lens.
What's he gonna do with a broken
I don't
camera lens?
know. We'll have to look.
Oh God.
I don't know. We gotta find stuff. There's nothing under the table. I looked. I cleaned all this out. There's a bunch of wires under there.
I'm looking here. I don't see anything that.
That's worthy. Where's the cheese? Do you want cheese? Give him a roll up.
Show the
Show
dragon
the
again.
dragon again.
You know what? I'm gonna
right,
buy
you're
Katie
gonna
new
send
one.
it.
So we're gonna send you. We're gonna send you this dragon.
That's Katie.
0. Congratulations. My granddaughter made this, right? I already took one. She never missed it, so she won't miss this one
It's
either.
at the shop.
Congratulations, brother man. That was a good victory. Put that here for 0. Okay.
Oh man. Open down wants to know, does anybody have a source for a brake pedal return spring for 66.12 with your V-body?
Brake pedal return spring. There is no brake pedal return spring on that. Well, there's not.
No.
No.
66?
No. There's return spring. No. It's just the pedal with the push rod goes into the master. There's a spring inside the master that pushes back. Is that what you're talking about? But that would already be inside the master cylinder. If you've got a problem where the brake pedal is hanging low and it's not letting the brake lights turn off, and you're past the adjustment point,
You mean clutch pedal?
No, no brake pedal returns. Yeah, I mean, you could hang a spring off the pedal, but there is, to pull it back towards it, but there is no actual brake pedal return spring.
Let's see. He says, okay. Are you sure you know what you're talking about, Tony?
What?
All right. Greta the Green Cornet. What are your thoughts, plus any tips on installing the Hughes Whiplash cam for your 318?
Excellent cam. I have one in my 273 GT, the one I drive every day. I can't say enough good stuff about that cam, and I paid for it. Like anybody else would. Use doesn't give me jack. They're like, Uncle who?
Right.
Fuck you. Go away. Pay me money. So you know what I mean. It's not like they give me anything. I can't say enough good words about that cam. It's perfect. Get it and love it.
When you reverse the pistons, do the bearings stay or do they follow the swap?
There's no difference in the bearings. You have two ways to do it. If you've got floating pins where you could just take the piston off the pin, then you just turn the piston around. You're done with it. If you've got press pins, all you're doing is you take the rod and the piston and rod assembly from the one side, you bring it to the other side, and you turn it around, and that'll give you the correct geometry, and it'll have the bearing facing in the right orientation, so that the chamfer on the big end. The big end of the rod is facing against the cheek of the crankshaft. So you'll get the right offset and the right orientation of the crankshaft on the rod.
Hey Tony, I have a 305 Chevy with a Holly 450 CFM I just found. How can I get some free power with old school trips? I'm 17 by the way.
Matthew, yeah, that 450 is kind of small, man. It's small. Old school power tricks. All right, so working with what you got. Oh God, that's a small carburetor for that. But you can make the engine believe that it's a bigger carburetor by adding a spacer underneath it. That would help in a number of ways. See how much hood clearance you have between the top of the carburetor and the hood. Okay, so obviously you don't want the carburetor to actually sit on the hood. You need at least 1.5 inches or so between the top of the carburetor and the hood, right? And then figure out what that distance is, and then add that much spacer underneath the carburetor. And it'll fool the engine into believing it has a larger carburetor. That'll get you, and of course, anything you do as far as limiting the curving the distributor and adding spacers underneath that are your best bangs for the buck.
Zero says winning. It's like taking dragons from a baby.
But this is what we do.
Wait, I'm going to find something cool for you.
No,
Zero.
he won the dragon. The dragon is cool.
But I don't want to feel guilt.
No, he's not going to feel guilt. There's no guilt involved in this. That's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
She's not a baby. She's going to be 6. She's like a pre-adolescent.
Let's see. What about the slant 6? You got to flip the rod around.
Yeah, the oil hole doesn't face in the right direction anymore, but I've done it a bunch of times. It doesn't make any difference. There's no effect on long-term longevity.
You knew you'd been on for 3 hours.
Oh shit!
This is letting you know. How much longer are you gonna go?
A little while.
Okay.
A few more minutes.
Did some 318 have well pistons?
Dish pistons? No, they're all flat tops.
Okay. What's your opinion on rotary engines? See, I'm certainly not be able to talk. Give me some.
They're really cool. They're out of my wheelhouse. The lack of low end torque kind of like, turns me off a little bit. But I think they're neat. I think people do a lot of interesting stuff with them. When I see a rotary at the track, it catches my attention. It catches my interest. So, but not for me.
Jimmy said, are you gonna go with aluminum sheet metal from the Abbott Doghouse?
I have no way to weld aluminum, so no. I have some shelving material that's actually the perfect gauge, and it's a high strength steel. Like I mean, it's you know what I mean, it's flexible, right? You know, maybe you try to bend it, it comes right back. So I've got a bunch of shelving material I'm going to build a doghouse out of.
Zero says he'll add to his weird collection of stuff you'll send me.
Nice.
Glasses, artwork, chewed up hat, pasta accents, tools.
That's where the accent went. I wanted to make those. When we last time we tried to make shish kebabs, I was like, "Where's the fucking accent?"
Oh,
We sent it to zero. Okay.
Do you know Richard Holder did this on his dino yet?
No idea.
See. What are your thoughts on the Aspen and Volare?
Great cars. They don't get nearly the love or recognition that they deserve. They're great cars.
See, she's probably thinking she's gonna want that dragon. She's gonna be like, "Hey, where's my dragon?" Lindsay, what's your take on early Australian muscle cars like the, what is that?
The Monero, the Falcon, and the Toronto. They're all cool, but we had none of them here in this country. So I have zero exposure to them. They didn't even, like if you go back in the day with the magazines and stuff, none of that stuff was even covered. You know, like most Americans weren't aware that those things even existed until the internet came along. So I have no experience with them at all.
Sarah says, every now and then my lady finds it. What's this doing here? That's my pasta accents I won. Let's see. It's funny.
Sorry.
Zero's mini UTG museum.
Of rando.
Right. Are there any classic cars cruising in your area? New Jersey, I'm not seeing any this year.
Yeah, they're all over the place. It's springtime.
I don't know how to read.
I know, I'm getting tired.
Okay. Let's see. Leather or rubber? Let's see. Leather or rubber accelerator pump? Why?
Rubber, the leather. When the leather sits for any amount of time, it once it deforms, it never comes back. So the rubber.
What exactly was Creative Industries of Detroit? I've heard it mentioned a few times in the Mocha Hunter podcast.
They did conversions like they did like Amberwagon did ambulances. They did contract work for Chrysler. Creative Industries, I forget. I'm sure somebody knows, but they were a separate company that did conversions. Whatever it was that they converted, for the life I don't remember. But it was a vendor that Chrysler used to do some of the more out of the box or limited production projects like the wing cars.
Last band at the open days? Oh.
I don't have a band yet.
No.
I gotta put a band together.
Right, we don't have time for that right now.
I know. I'm very occupied right now. Yeah, but I absolutely will put a band together once I find the right people.
Zero says, forget about the Peterbird. Couldn't stop laughing at
Oh, yeah. I think it was actually still kind of fresh when
No,
we
it
said.
was stale.
It was stale?
It was on stale.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it wasn't totally stale. But
I think you probably could have eaten it. You know.
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't kill you.
Don't do it now. But yeah.
Don't eat it now. Good morning. Time to work here in Sweden. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, and you have an awesome, productive day, my brother.
Sophia, have you thought about having an episode discussing not just the money saved on hunting for parts, but the time sunk involved in do-it-yourself car repairs like engine rebuilding?
Not just the money saved on hunting for parts, but the time sink involved in doing so. Okay, I think I know. I think I know where you're going with that. But like in my world, it's like my time is worth money, obviously from a business standpoint. But if it's something that I'm doing, like one of my own cars, then I don't really count the time because it's like this is what I do for a hobby. This is what I do to relax. So it's like I would almost. I mean, if it was the other way around, I would be paying. You know what I mean? To have myself do these things. But I
You don't think of labor the way
I don't think of labor the way most people think of labor.
Because you love labor.
I do love labor. I love to work. There's literally my favorite thing in the world is working. I just love to work. The more difficult it is, the more I love it.
Yeah.
Did I miss the adrenaline? Did my heart stop? Did my adrenal gland? What the fuck is that about?
I know.
Is this one of those psychic viewers? Medical. Your adrenal gland has died.
They're scanning your body right now.
He's scanning my body.
Psychically. All right, we're getting tired. Engine button. What is your opinion on the Hang 10 Dark?
It was an appearance package. They were pretty cool. I mean, it's different.
Mexican Spec says, don't call it work and it gets even better. Yeah.
I love to work. There is nothing I enjoy more than working.
There's no retiring in our repertoire.
Oh no,
that's never going to happen.
I'm retired right now. As far as I'm concerned, I'm retired. I make a good living playing with my cars. I mean,
Jimmy Fed says you've been kicking ass in the new shop.
That's why we got it. You know, you could see it's
more options.
Right, more options. It makes it much easier to produce videos. It makes it much easier to do the work. The lighting is good. Yeah, this moving into the shop was the best investment we could have possibly made for the channel. Yeah. It opens up a universe of possibilities for us we wouldn't have had any other way. You tired? I'm tired too. We've been on for over 3 hours.
I know. Here. Is there any advantage / disadvantage of having solo lifters versus hydraulic in the slant six?
The hydraulic lifters they're pressurized through the push rods like a Gen 3 Hemi. It's not a natural combination for those engines. They're trouble prone. The hydraulic ones, I mean, not trouble prone, but they're not as dead nuts reliable as the silo lifter ones. I would not build a hydraulic slant six.
Taylor Teal, I know you said you weren't a truck guy, but what are your thoughts on the Lord Express, the old Dodge pickup?
I dig the trucks. I lose it with the stacks. I can't. You know what I mean? It's just I just can't. You know, I love everything else about the trucks. Those trucks, they're cool looking, but they lose me with the stacks. They just, you know what I mean?
Tony, one more question. What other tricks can I do for some free power? I know you can relate to my current situation and just want the most of my little 305.
Free power. Oh God. Late model engines run on the hot side. I would throw like a 170 thermostat in it. We talked about the spacer. Definitely ignition. You're gonna find huge performance gains in the distributor, right? In not in spark. You don't need any more spark. but the timing of the spark is super important. So right, if you're just learning this shit, learn everything you can about ignition timing and how to maximize that. What other free stuff can you do? You can pop the intake manifold off, and you can block off the exhaust heat crossover. That drops the inlet temperature drastically, and is generally good for 15 to 20 horsepower all by itself. Loosen any sort of parasitic losses. If you got a clutch fan on the car, you can maybe go to an electric fan. You'll free up about 8 or 10 horsepower doing that. You can hook up an alternator field cutoff switch so that when let's say you're going to race the car, you can shut off the charging system. It could just run off the battery. That's worth 8 or 10 horsepower. I mean, I could sit here all day and just rattle off little things. Any weight that you can get off the car, and performance is power to weight. So if you can reduce the weight, you're going to increase the performance. There's never an exception to that. So, I hope they give you something to think about, Matt.
Uh-oh, my brain is locked up. Oh, thank you. I want to love your content, but talent you share is present.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that.
Big Bear says it's ice cream time.
It is, right? It is. I need ice cream. I want ice cream. It's too late. Everybody's closed now. It's 10:30.
Everybody's not close now.
No. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up, right? Everybody contributed. Super chat. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Cash keeps the wheels turning here. Everybody contributed with just good conversation. Thank you. My Sunday nights hanging out with you guys is really one of the highlights of my week. It's the only time I'm social, really. The rest of the time I'm just a grumpy bastard. Just get the fuck away from me, right? No, but seriously, I really love these Sunday nights. Our mods, right? John, Ari, Fubar, Zero. I love you guys. Thank you so much for keeping everything running smooth here. And this Wednesday night, we're back at, if I hope Dallas is feeling better. We'll be back Wednesday night Tech Talk at Dallas's 7 o'clock. What else do we want to talk about? Saturday we'll be at Jake's Dragway with Bottle Rocket.
What else?
I don't even know. I'm shot.
You shot?
I'm shot. I'm tired.
Yeah. So those are the two major things. We're
Yeah.
just preparing for Saturday.
Yeah. And that's it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow or next Sunday. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Good night.